Go to 7 Mile and you're good to go, man.
Yeah,
Shout out to all my 7 Mile people out there.
Just ruined my childhood even more, B. Damn you.
I'm just trying to put it together. Trying to make us sound good. Are you kidding me?
Blue Tigers Fitted, BlueTigersFitted.com. Episode 23, Sherm.
23, baby.
23. What are we?
What is that? 2X, 3I. Jumpman.
2X, 3I. Jumpman.
Yeah.
All day. Yo, just so y'all know, internets, we got our first sponsor for BTF in the studio.
Hello, world.
Mr. Juan Neal. Clap it up for Mr. Juan Neal all day.
Hey.
Loose Cannon Lifestyle, Loose Cannon Brand, our first official sponsor of the show. He joined us again. We had the return of Juan Neal, episode 22.
Oh, yeah, I had to come through, man.
You had to come through episode 23.
My birthday brother spit in the building.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
you know
goodness.
what I'm
Oh,
saying?
my goodness. Yeah, because we got a special guest in the studio with us this evening. DJ Friction.
Nah, spelled with a Q.
With a Q.
It's a Q in there.
With a Q. Okay,
Yeah.
DJ Friction, a.k.a. we're going to go Octane.
Oh, man. I still got
Oh,
the
Lord.
album.
I still got the
that
album. I still got it.
autograph because I
Blind-
make them autograph everything I
Blind
buy.
Pig, Blind
Yeah.
Pig, right?
Blind Pig,
I'm
right?
there every day.
Yeah.
AKA, I'm at every show that this cat was at, man, whether it was Birmingham, whether it was Ann Arbor, whether it was Yacktown. I was there. Father, business owner, entrepreneur, hustler, Renaissance man. We got Rose Spit in the studio. Spit in the studio with us.
Oh, shit.
Bro. Oh shit! Episode 23, bro.
Spit.
Yeah,
Episode 23, MJ. Blue Tigers Fitted, bro. We got Rose Spit in the building.
Welcome.
Thank you, man. Thank y'all.
Welcome,
Thank
man.
y'all for having
Blue
me,
Tigers
man.
Fitted, bro. You know.
I should have went and bought one.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy one tomorrow. Just for that.
Just for that.
Yeah, just for that.
Just for that, man.
No, you representing. You got to do it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah,
I
I
ain't-
understand.
Y'all can stand.
That B-Day 313, though, man.
313.
313,
Right.
yeah.
Juan Neal
You know.
spoke you up
Yeah.
last week, and he's like, "Yo, I'm coming back to the studios because Rose Spit. We share the same birthday."
Yeah.
and I
That's
really
my
didn't get
man.
it. I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "It's 313 day." But what do you mean? Why? Like, is it like the third month, like March, and then like y'all both on the 13th? I mean, I don't get it. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Indeed.
No, we share the same birthday.
Same
Literally.
birthday.
Rose Spit,
Yeah.
man. Welcome, brother.
Well, thank
Welcome,
you, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Welcome,
I
man.
appreciate it. I'm ready to turn up. I'm ready to get loose.
Yeah, man. Ready to get loose. You know what I'm saying?
Talk some shit. real
Talk that shit. Blue Tigers Fitted. It's a long time coming, man. I just gotta say, get my shit out early. You know what I'm saying? Early. You know what I mean? I was a fan. How early? Early is early. I look up to this cat, man. You know, obviously as Blue Tigers Fitted, man, we try to bring people influential on and just trying to highlight and showcase what they're about. And bro, I mean, I followed you from, when you guys took over Burn Rubber back in the day. What is it? Is it 9 years? now?
It'd be 9 in
It'd
February.
be 9 years.
That's crazy.
It'd be 9 in
9
February.
years since you took over Burn Rubber. And I was there from the beginning, man. Pre-blog commercials, right?
Yes.
Like pre, Mo Beats, Mr. AKA Mr. Chris himself.
Yeah.
Furniture.
Dude, like yeah,
The red couches.
the red
that
couches.
was real.
I mean, I was
Yeah.
I was there. All of that, man. When y'all was like taxing mad high on these T-shirts that I still got
Yeah.
hanging up in my
Yeah.
my closet. I was like, yo, Ro's a cool guy. When I got to the register, I was like, yeah, let me get those dunks too. They're like, yo, fam, how much is it? 172.85. Yo, why is it 172.85? How much does this T-shirt cost? This was $70. Oh, well, I got to hit the tax. But it's all good. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? I was there from the beginning. I respected the hustle, and for me, it was a crazy time because I fell out of love with sneakers at that time.
Okay.
I mean, as a cat going through high school and working at Mr. Allen's back in the day, and this is pre-Juan Neal days, by the way. Mr. Allen's back in the day, Champ Sports back in the day.
I am not associated with
He is not associated with
right
any
now.
of the things being said on Blue Tigers Fitted. I fell out of love with sneakers, man. I mean, Jordan Brand was bringing out shit like Do the Right Thing 3s. And I was like, yo, what are these whack ass colors coming out?
man.
And it was just certain shit that I just, that I had a passion for growing up. And I fell out of love with it, man. But I fell back in love with it, when you guys took over your store. And the love, man, that came across. I know your partner Rick, he's always talking about like it's like a barbershop type feel, because people will come in there, support the store, cop their kicks, but y'all would be cool, man. Y'all would just sit there and talk about life, everyday shit.
Yeah, right.
And I remember I would spend hours at a time like, yo, why the fuck did I waste my whole day in this store? 6 hours. The whole day is gone. I'm like, yo, I got to go to work tomorrow.
You can get out of the structure and just pay 50 cents.
But
you got to pay the whole $5.
The whole $5. You know what I'm saying? I would sit back and you guys made me fall back in love with sneakers because of the people, man, and just the diversity that would come into your shop, and people that would come in there. I'm talking about white, black, green, red. Every walk of life would come into y'all store, man. And whether they were trying to pitch or promote something for their own thing and get consignment or whatever, it was just cool how I seen you guys interact, man. And that made me fall back in love with sneakers. And I had a lot of cool relationships with people that came into the store. I mean, even to this day. I mean, obviously Juan Neal, definitely one of them, and has branched off into make his own brand. And he's mentioned before that you guys, you and Rick have been a huge inspiration in launching his clothing brand and just, getting his dreams out and just seeing people grow. Like 9 years of seeing people grow that I had no idea or no relationship or no connection to, but coming to that store, man, and you were one of the most influential people and boastful people in making that shit happen.
It's gonna be a damn book written about.
It's gonna be a book, bro. And I mean, it should be. It should be. And that, for me, that it brought a lot of things to light, man. And I just thank you for that, man.
I appreciate it.
I thank you for that, dog.
And I really appreciate that for real, because like it's funny. Like my cousin One Below,
yeah, absolutely.
Binary Star, right?
Yep,
so
Binary Star.
I asked him one day. I sat down with him because this guy's like he'll be like he lives in Egypt, like his residence. Like, so if you have to send him like some mail, you have to send it to Egypt. You know what I'm saying? And he comes here and tours and makes money and sends it to his family. Wow. And I sat down with him one day and I'm like, man, do you realize that you are like the like he's the start of the hierarchy of like independence and like, I don't want to say my family, but like, the people that are around me and the people that I like.
Your circle? Yeah,
kind of like what basically like growing up I didn't have anybody that like my aunt didn't own a tattoo parlor.
Sure.
My grandmother didn't own like a candy store or nothing like that. And he was the first person that told me like, yo, or showed me that you don't got to get a job. Yeah. Like in what people think, like you got to go to college, get out, get a job, and work for somebody for 30 years. And I was like, do you know? And then I look at me, because I looked at him and I saw like, man, I can do this. And I did it like that. And then I see my little cousins, and just people that may not even been thinking about that.
Shout out that little Alex.
You know what I'm saying? Come to the shop and it's like, damn, they did what? You
know what I'm saying? Right.
And I'm like, man, that to me, like that comes from him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That comes from my cousin One Below. Yeah. And it's like, man, and he was like, nah, I was just doing me. You know what I'm saying? Like damn,
you about to have a tear and everything.
Like,
he just like, I was doing me.
My little sister is a DJ now and this and that, and I can't even take credit for it because you are the reason I'm a DJ. And he like, damn, for real? Right, So, but it's dope, man. It's like we always wanted to be, because we didn't really have anybody to look up to as far as business or as far as independence. Sure. And I'm pretty sure I can speak for Rick. We always wanted to be a hub because, with black people, a lot of the times they like try to be off in the corner. Yeah. And don't want to share any experience.
People want you to get by, just not by them.
Or it's a crab in a bucket effect and you don't even get to make it, period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We're not trying to help. We're not trying to hear it. Yeah. You get past me, that's a problem.
Because I go through that all the time, man. Like, I'll at least give you the beginning. I'll show you a website where you don't have to worry about getting accounts. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'll show you where to, make your first website where you don't have to pay no money or anything. I can't give you everything that I got today.
Right.
But, I can give you something, like help you out, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like,
no, absolutely.
Like, just to piggyback on that, dude, like, man, I still remember like my first time going into burn rubber, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Juan, you were on, I put up the video the other day, and it's funny because it was the
Yeezy release?
The Yeezy 1 release. And I was laughing because Juan was probably about 75 pounds lighter.
Way lighter,
yeah. And
I would have clearly been a featherweight.
clearly been a featherweight. Juan, if y'all look at this video, it's on YouTube, and I can't remember what I searched. I think it was like Yeezy release or Yeezy black release at fucking burn rubber, something like that to that effect. But Juan was sitting outside, and it was the funniest shit ever. Ro was taking the camera, and he was going behind, for where their first store was in Royal Oak. He was going behind the building talking to people, yeah. And Juan was just sitting out there so clean. Gucci's on, right? And Ro Camerati was like, "Oh yeah," and then Juan was like, "Burn Rubber is the greatest store in the world." And Ro was like, "Yo, so you just clean, man? Out here you got your Gucci's on the whole nine." Like he's like, "Yeah, just clean, just clean."
And it's crazy, man. I'll be looking back at those videos, like it's unreal that was like 5-6 years ago.
Ronin sushi party.
Ronin sushi party,
man.
Like all that.
I feel like I be chilling with like Russell Simmons with the Kool-Aid block parties and stuff. So, like you really have to understand like where everybody came from.
Yeah.
And when you look at some of the biggest stars today, a lot of those people started off at Burn Rubber. Big Sean, Mike Posner, a lot of up and coming stars. Like a lot of cats might not be up on them. Read the credits. J. John Henry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of cats. Like I wouldn't have had my clothing brand if I wouldn't have walked into Burn Rubber that day.
Right. Word up. No,
that's what I'm saying. That's why it's gonna be a book made out of Burn Rubber.
Right. Mr. Right Hook, left uppercut.
Yeah, we gonna get into all that. We gonna get into all that.
Yeah, but yeah, like seriously though, man, like you know what I'm saying. Like I walked in and I knew black people could own stuff. I'll keep it 100. I knew black people could, but I didn't know a young black person could own something that could walk in, fill the lease out, be able to get a Nike contract, Adidas contract, have one of the best Nike and Adidas contract in Michigan. You know what I'm saying? The one thing I can say is I felt like Burn Rubber actually brought awareness to the sneaker culture in Detroit. We didn't have a sneaker culture. We had a boutique that, sold shoes, but we didn't have a boutique that had sneaker culture, that understood, like, this is the type of party you throw. This is how you give shoes away. This is what you design, everything. I still got every Burn Rubber hat I ever bought. And now that I know it's 10 years next year.
Yeah.
They gotta have to start popping up now, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We got some special things in the work.
But I can say that myself. You know what I'm saying? That I feel like, the reason why there's about to be a Flight 23 store, Nike store moving downtown. I don't feel like none of those things happen if Rick and Ro don't buy Burn Rubber back in the day.
Yeah,
because we didn't have that outlet. Nobody was talking about tier New Balance accounts.
Yes.
None of that.
Absolutely.
I didn't even know what it was.
Like tier. So like the boxes come wet.
Right.
Crying on it. I don't know what that is.
What is it? I don't know.
But you know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion and everything. You know what I'm saying? So, if I never said it, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
My first flight on a plane for more than 3 and 4 hours because of them when they snuck me in the Magic. AKA I got to pass the Magic because I applied the right way. But they flew me out the Magic, man.
Yeah.
And like I met some cats that I'm still cool with to this day. Like, my manufacturer that manufactures some of my shirts, like my scoop tees and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From that situation.
Crazy.
So that's crazy, man.
And that's like I said, that's one thing we always wanted to do because, it's so many times that we especially just me that, I went to people and it's like, no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, not even no explanation. Like just like, no,
no,
you can't tell me that. You know what I'm saying? So I never wanted to be that guy. Like if I could give any kind of knowledge or any kind of insight into anything,
sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and the crazy thing about it is like even something like that, like going to Magic or going to the trade shows, people on the outside, from the outside looking in, you think like, man, you might think I can't do that, like, or why would they let me in there, or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, it's the easiest thing to do, but you just got to come on,
bro.
Yeah.
Literally.
And then I told him, I'm like, yo, whatever we do, you do.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, talk about how, like, you and Rick, obviously, Kona or Burn Rubber, talk about a little bit how y'all got started with that. Like, talk about how you got started with Burn Rubber.
I want to know how the meeting sound.
We're gonna talk about the meeting sound, but talk about how y'all got started.
How the meeting, like Rick, like does Rick call you?
Yeah, I mean, I heard the BR mixtape, you know, and I heard it's my nigga Rick, you know, he talking about some shit,
so
you know.
Like the original.
Yeah, like the original.
Like what happened that, you know what I'm saying, like out of all people that you and Rick came together to start a story.
Yeah, why Rick Williams?
Like you could have picked somebody different or Rick. I don't know who came up with the idea first, but like
so
whatever it was, like what made this tandem, you know what I'm saying?
Just coming together.
Yeah. Like Demolition of Doom in Michigan, you know what I'm saying?
It started off when like before Burn Rubber opened up. I was writing a business plan for a sneaker boutique.
Okay.
So
how old were you at the time?
25.
25, getting it.
25ish, right? And it was crazy because I was working at Enterprise Rental Car, and I was the bus boy, like, you know what I mean? The guy.
Oh boy, the runner.
That sounds so horrible. The runner.
I heard that in McKenzie a couple times.
Yeah. Pause and run. Shout out to all you runners out there.
Right. You're not going to 4th hour, are you?
Nah, she ain't going to 4th hour.
So I'm like, man, you know, I'm like, at that point, it was that job, and it was another job. I worked for Chrysler Financial, and I realized, and I in my head, I understood why people like sell dope and why people like rob banks. I get it. I'm like, if I had to do this for 30 years, I'm selling dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I understand why people take those chances. So in that, I was talking to it was a guy, I picked him up for, like, he rented a Jaguar or something. So I picked him up and had to pick him up from the Jaguar dealership. And we was talking, and I'm looking at this guy, and I'm like, man, he just, you know, suit. Look, he just looked like money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? I got my dirty polo on. You know what I'm saying? I'm all wet and shit.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, I forgot. He was like, this some business guy, right? And he was like, so we talking, and he like, man, your lifelong career should be something that you would do for free. And I'm like. I'm like, damn. Well, at the time, I was hooping, and like my hoop days was over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I was like, other than that, it was shoes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I would get off work, and from the time I got off to the time I went to sleep, I'd be on the internet looking at the time it was Bapes and like Heineken's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I didn't even know where they were coming from. I just see them.
Sure,
and there was a lot of fake ones at the time.
Sure.
Right?
So, that's still a problem. Hell.
Still a problem. It's even worse now because they look better. So then, you know, we continued to talk, and he said, but the thing is, when you find out what you would do for free, you figure that out, and then you got to find a way to make money from it. And I'm like, damn. So a couple days later, I'm looking through a Slam magazine, and I see Undefeated Sneaker Boutique, and I'm like, damn, what is that?
Right.
Because like here, it's like you go to the mall, you go to Northland, you go to Fairlane.
Yeah, with Northland. Hey, shout out to Northland. That's not even there no more.
Not even there.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to
Northland.
Northland.
So like when you think of going to get shoes, you know, that's where you go. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So I'm like, damn, Sneaker Boutique, that sounds dope. And then I looked it up, and I was like, damn, this is what Undefeated is, right? So then I'm like, I want to bring the first one of these or something like this to Michigan. So I'm writing proposals and perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like all this, it was gonna be in Southfield, like Northwestern Highway, and I had the you know, the demographics of high schools and colleges and a certain, you know what I mean, like all that.
Sure.
And then I got to the point where I'm like, you know, I finished it. Literally, I finished it, and was like, you know, kind of like that exhale moment, like, did it, man.
Yeah.
Now it's about getting this money, and that, like, I think it was the next day, my wife called me and was like, hey, I'm in Royal Oak, and it's this store called Burn Rubber. It's kind of like what you've been talking about, and I'm like, damn.
Bust the windows out.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, she was like, it's a boutique, and it's like, it's real cool, and it's small, and it has these cool sneakers, and it's brightly lit and different color.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
fuck my whole shit up. But then I'm like, yo, I'm about to go down there and check it out. They had a Sex in the City, because, you know, Rachel was the owner.
Right.
Or Rachel, you know.
Right.
So they had like a Sex in the City cocktails and like
Cocktails and convo kind of shit.
yeah. So I went down there, and that's how I found out about it. So in that time after it opened, Rick made himself the intern.
Right. I know he was doing like web design or something for them, like trying.
But it
to
was
get
like
their website
he
presence.
like literally was like, this is how you do a website and put one together. Just pictures. And, like it was not the greatest website.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But it was him getting his foot in the door.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And he had like a little. You know, now he has Canons and all these different
Sonys
cameras.
and DJ
But
Clark
at the
Kents and all
time,
that
it was just a little camera.
Yeah.
You know
I took
what
a
I'm saying?
dope picture of
Throwback.
my fish and chips when we was at Arts Beats and Eats.
Yeah, okay. And then,
Sidebar.
but like around that time, we had been talking about like I put him up on Hypebeast, the website.
Right. Right.
That's what I used to do every day, like. And then we were talking, and we would go like to New York to get babes. You know what I'm saying? Just drive through the night, get one pair of shoes, and come back home, and stuff like that.
The legit pair, not
legit
not
pair.
the
From
canal,
the store.
not the Canal
Not-
Street
not
pair.
Canal Street,
Yeah, not the
please.
Canal Street
Yeah.
pair. Yeah.
And then, so I would tell him about what I was trying to do as far as the store.
Sure.
And then he was like, we were all always hustlers, right?
Sure.
So like he was he was a professional tap dancer. So
Yep,
we were in a band together, and that's kind of how we, really got cool. Even before that, he was throwing parties and booking my Binary Star, my cousin, and I was DJing.
Rick Williams.
Yeah, I was
Rick
DJing
Williams.
those parties.
Yeah.
I was DJing those shows for Binary Star.
Okay.
And then he was like, "Oh, damn, you're a DJ. Well, I'm going to OU next year. I'm gonna book you to do all the parties that I do at OU."
Yeah.
So this is like a built-in two-way hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
like we was both cutting hair, right, for like $10 a cut or whatever. And then I was like, okay, when I open this store, I went out to Portland. I was on tour and I went out to Portland, and Terrell Brandon had a store in Portland. Crazy, right? Terrell Brandon had a store in Portland. It was a sneaker boutique and a barbershop, right, like connected. And I was like, yo, we're gonna do that, right? And he was like, yo, he's gonna do the barbershop, and it's gonna have like, custom like picks and brushes and hats and little shit like that. And then I was gonna have a sneaker store, and it was gonna all just like one big happy family.
I remember that.
And then he made himself the intern, and then Kenny and Rachel decided they were going to sell because Kenny was getting a promotion through Nike.
Yeah. Kenny, now did he go through Nike? Or did he go through K-Swiss? I remember he was.
No,
doing
that was
something.
after.
That was after. Okay.
Kenny worked for Nike that whole time.
Okay.
And that's why
Gotcha.
to the point that they weren't even at the time they weren't married.
Okay.
So because technically he's not supposed to do that. You know
right.
what I'm saying?
I had a store up
But,
exactly.
so technically he's not. So he was like, that's not his wife at the time. So.
Right.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It was her store, quote unquote. You feel me?
Got you.
So then he ended up, but they were together, so he ended up getting a promotion. And the crazy thing about it, the position that he got was, he was like over North American football for Nike or something. So he had to move to Portland, right?
Wow. Right.
Yeah.
And then he moved out there, and he didn't want to run the store from so far away, so he only told the people that were involved. And he told, it was an Asian girl that worked there, and her family owned like some kind of beauty supplies.
Of course.
And they didn't, right. And that's right.
Coming from our engineer B.
And they didn't want her to, she loved the sneaker culture.
Sure.
But they didn't understand it, her parents. And they like, yo, okay,
you better get these weaves.
Yeah, we about to do this.
Hey.
And continue to be rich. You know what I mean?
Right.
My parents doesn't understand me doing broadcasting either. So I got you. They either want me to do nails, doing engineering, or being a doctor. So one of the
Can you imagine
Hair be a long way
doing
longer
nails?
than shoes.
Yeah. I'd be like, nah, I'm gonna just wait for old girl, my man.
Yeah,
You cool.
nah,
I'm gonna
B,
get my feet
nah.
done by somebody else.
So it was her. It was MC Search was in the running.
Was
Good
Giles
idea.
still was working there at the time?
Who?
B. Giles.
Yeah, B. Giles working there at that
B.
time.
Giles, shout out to
Yeah.
B. Giles, man.
Out there doing the
my
Junior Olympic work,
Hey,
bro.
and B. Giles, man, you need to give me something for that Nike store, by the way, employee store, size 11, all day. Yeah,
Go
be
for
homie on
gold,
that.
bro.
He know what he's doing. He know what he's going.
You know what he
Gold,
doing,
bro.
Yeah, the whole Blue Tigers
That's a
fitted
Mumford
crew. But B.
project
Giles,
right
you know,
there, man.
size 11, bro. We're gonna retweet
Right.
you on this shit. But anyway, go ahead, bro.
And it was so it was that. It was the Asian chick, MC Search, and then I even heard, I don't know how true it is, but I even heard that like Slum Village was talking about trying to buy it.
Oh, wow,
You know what I'm saying?
okay.
Or like Elzai and T3 or something, whatever it was. And then it was us. You know what I'm saying? And then everything else fell through. Like we were last, like we were number 4. Everything else kind of fell through. Like, it just didn't work out. And then they were like, yo, we got to go. We got to do this. We got to make it happen. So we either about to make this happen,
Yeah.
or we got to tell the world
Yeah.
And then somebody's gonna get it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
And then we just got together, and the rest is history. Well, they told Rick that,
Yeah.
and then the first thing he thought was like, I would love to have this, but I don't even have a structure together. I don't even have enough time to put structure together, a plan or anything. But he's like, who has a plan?
Right.
Ro got one.
Ro got one.
So I took it, and we like, yo, this is what we gonna do, and this is how we gonna make it happen. But we had already had the conversations.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And then that it just came together like that. Then we got an attorney, and prayers and everything came together, and it worked out. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Now the killer part is I think you said you were fourth on the list. I don't think nobody else could have ran it like y'all did it. Because like these guys said, it's more of a hub for the sneaker culture that so many things done branched out and blew off of.
Right.
You might not look at it and say, I did that, but in one day when you look at all the shit that done launched off from Burn Rubber's lobby, you know what I mean? You're gonna look at it and be proud of shit. So
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I think the right people got it, but I can't say that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's funny, man, because I remember taking Sherm in the shop one day, and he was sitting back like, "Yo, man, I don't know if I can fuck with this spot." And I'm like, "Why is that?" He's like, "Yo, it's a lot of niggas walking around here, man, with phone cases and keychains and shit."
Tight pants mafia was up there hard, dude.
He was like, "Yo, it's a lot of tight pants mafia in this bitch, man. I don't know if I can fuck with this spot." I'm like, "No. Sit back. Once you get through all them, it's like a Drake verse, man. Like the hipsters get along with the hood.
That's hilarious,
niggas,
bro.
It's hilarious. But that's why I keep Sherm around. That's my man.
Yeah.
That's my man. 50 grand. I know him half his life. Like that's why I keep him around to be like, yo, it is a lot of niggas walking around here with chains and tight ass pants. I agree. But once you get through all that, with the belt. I'm like, once you get through all that, these cats are some cool cats. You can rock with them. You can rock with them, man. But nah, man. I mean, that like it's an amazing story. Like. From coming to that and like Juan said, having these different accounts. Yo, shout out to Rick Williams because he tried to finesse me on a pair of JBs back in the day.
Oh yes.
I was like, yo, man, hold on, don't finesse me.
Treat yourself.
On the JBs.
Don't cheat yourself.
Treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. I said, hold on, this is when he was trying to figure me out. You know what I'm saying? Because he's like, he thought I was one of them cats that had a whole bunch of this fucking money and was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy these JBs. No, man, fam. I don't know if I'm fucking with them. I'm gonna have to get them at cost. But because he was like, yo, just to let you know, man, we hooking up the whole crew with these JBs. I'm like, oh, for real? Yeah.
I fuck with JBs though.
I fuck with JBs too. However,
the price was too high.
The price was way too high for the finesse he was trying to hit me with. And I was just like, oh no. You can keep that 11 in the back. I might come back and fuck with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But either way, man, like you said, from getting the accounts and that store had no accounts. When we talk about accounts, we're talking about like this is a store that didn't have
Nike.
No.
They did have the Nike account, but it was like a regular Nike account. It was a quick striker.
Urban
right?
Indie is what they called it. They didn't have like tier zeros or quick strikes as we know it, as the internets know it.
We even talk about the clothes, the 10 deep, the TBG.
Bro, but hold on, before any of all that, they didn't have any of that.
Nah, they didn't.
Like literally, like I said, my $72 t-shirt. Gildan t-shirt is sitting in my closet right now.
It was a Gildan too?
It was a Gildan too, bro. With the tag cut off like so.
Take into account we didn't really know what we was doing, man.
It's okay. I got finesse. Shout out to AZ. Shout out to AZ.
Wait, hold on. Is that the one of 24?
The one of 24. And your man's Kitten Good 23. Blinded by the Jump Man. Rick dubbed me Blinded by the Jump Man. I couldn't get 23 because it was saved for somebody else. So I had to suffer for 22.
Was that what AZ? AZ got it?
I think AZ got it.
Yeah,
I think AZ got 22.
22 was Alvin Gentry, man. We used to play for the...
See, that's what I'm not fucking with, bro. I can't fuck with Alvin Gentry. Yeah. I can't fuck with Big Lip Gentry.
I got a question, though, man. Out of all the stuff that's happened in 9 years, going on 10 years, what was one or a couple, like, highlighted things that happened to you where you just still think about them every now and then with Burn Rubber?
I always think about the first party we had. The first party we had
at the Sky Bar.
At the Sky Bar, that was crazy because
I'm gonna talk about that.
When you look back, you look and say man, this dude
wasn't Calvin breakdancing in there.
Yes,
no, it was jitting.
Shout out to Blackout
and then
I was there. Blackout MRC, Blackout MRC on this.
Yeah, you and Paul, was there, and but like Sean performed, and this is like before he was Big Sean, like you know what I'm saying? It was crazy.
Yo, can I talk about that?
Yeah.
So that party was crazy. So internets, I'm gonna step in. So I got up there. I was rocking some Royal Ones from like 2000, 2001. All right, shut it down.
I stepped on them.
Shut it down. Why I probably did step on like an asshole.
I was wearing some British Nikes from 97.
Yeah, some BKs.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose. So what's crazy about that party is like, yo, that was my first like shoelebrity like kind of event for me personally. Because a couple things, like shout out to Lady L Tats, but like a couple other people. Like literally everybody was coming up to me like, yo, you're a Teek. And Sherm, you remember this? You were there.
Yeah.
You remember? You were there.
I recall this party.
Right, I recall this party. Right. So you know, I'm with the fellas. I'm like, yo, fellas, y'all should come down to this party. It's Burn Rubber. They throwing the event. It's their first shit. Come through. So I had all my people with me, and it's funny because cats kept coming up to me, knowing like, yo, you the guy that got X amount of pair. You got 1,500 pair. You got 2,000 pair. Can I take a picture of you and my girl? Yeah. And I was like, yeah. So, you know, mind you, Sherm and the fellas is in the corner with the look like,
what does nigga think he
So basically you had exhibit A with 40 pairs. That's a 4.0.
4.0.
And then you were the 4.5.
I was the 4.5.
So like,
and them
dude
shits
just
got
hopped
leathers.
on you.
Hopped on me.
wow.
And the chick hopped on you.
And I'm taking pictures with my
Right.
mans and his girl, like, what's happening? So these dudes is these dudes are sitting there like, yo, who the fuck is Teek? Like, this is insane. So one of my homeboys that don't drink, you know, shout out to Mike. He don't drink. He was ordering like some fucking like screwdrivers and shit. I'm like, nah, man, I'm passing a screwdriver. Just give me some fucking Hennessy. I'm good.
Doesn't Caitlyn Jenner drink that?
Caitlyn Jenner does drink that. Yeah, pause on that.
That's funny.
But people coming up to me with champagne.
Yeah.
Oh, are you Teek? Oh, you Teek? Oh, man, let's get you the champagne bottles. I'm like, hold on, how much does that cost? First of all, wait, it's free? Oh, then pour it for my people right here.
You know who bought all that?
You bought all that?
No, AZ.
AZ bought all that?
He got that night. We dubbed him Chief Bottle Popper.
Bro, because they came over to me with a bottle, and I literally had Sherm had a bottle, I had a bottle. Shout out to D Fresh Beats had a bottle. My man Craig. I mean, it was like literally 6 of us that had these bottles, right?
And I think he bought like 25.
He had to have, because I'm like, wow, I'm getting bottle service now. This is amazing.
And once AZ gets lit,
It's over for everybody.
that's
over.
the party, bro.
It's over.
Over for
It's
everybody.
over.
AZ
we
got more
get
rhythm
lit,
than me.
and it's funny you speak about Big Sean, because you know we had, you know, shout out to Phil Fresh from Smile Brand.
Yeah, Phil
he was
Fresh.
there painting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to call it what it was
Shades
before.
was there painting.
Freshman clothing back then.
Clothing,
Him and El
Freshman
Cappy.
Clothing. Yeah, and El Cappy
Yeah.
back in the day. But you know, it was a crazy event because all of a sudden I was just twisted, and I'm like, yo, I don't even know what's going on no more. I've been here for 3 hours. I'm lit because everybody's passing drinks around, and I was mixing champagne with vodka and beer and cognac. It's over, right? It's game over.
Game time.
So we see Big Sean come on, and I'm like, okay, get you some. Everybody's crowding around this dude. All right, shout out to Sean. Cool. So I'm like, yo, let me get out of here. We get out of here. There's a parking structure not too far away, actually by the PNC Bank right across from the train station. Get in that joint. I'm like, yo, let's go to Snookers. When Snookers was open right over there off Woodward. Head to Snookers. It's terrible. My homeboy D Fresh was talking to the Asian chick. He was trying to holler at her, but he was like being mad disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? He'd already had too many drinks and was being mad disrespectful to the waitress. Long and short, my man Mike that doesn't drink, we literally are on the freeway. I'm taking this cat home, and he's like, yo, I got an Earl. I'm like, oh my God.
Yes.
I'm in the Pontiac GTP, my new shit. Please, we're going to pull over. Okay? We pull over. And, you know, you got to give your mans the pat. Like, okay, it's all right, bro. Go ahead. Let all that shit out. Let it out. You know, you doing one of these. And
You touched him?
pause.
I wouldn't touch him.
Pause on the touch. But he doesn't drink. So you feel bad for your man that doesn't drink. And you're like, oh, man, you know, it's cool. So as I come up over the dash, there's a fucking Astro van that straight pulls in front of us and starts to back up. And as this Astro van, I mean, mind you, it's like 2:30 in the morning. The Astro van pulls up and starts to back up. It's 2 white boys that hop out the car. And I'm like, yo, you need to finish your Earl because I'm fucked up and I don't know who they are. Like, they're coming out and they're coming to get us. Like, you need to hurry up. And he's like, what are you talking about? After the Earl, he kind of finished mid-Earl like, oh, shit, there is somebody coming at us.
Did you throw something at him?
No, I didn't throw something at him at all.
That's funny.
I'm in the GTP. I'm faster than the Astro van, so I'm literally taking off.
Yeah.
But it was a wild party. All that to say,
I was about to say, where are you going?
I was going with that because
I was about to get robbed.
I was about to get robbed. I was about to get jacked from my car, and man that wasn't with me that was drinking and didn't drink. Yeah, it was all.
It was a lot of throw. I threw up that night. I for sure threw up that night.
You remember
That's how
way
you
more
tell
that
the
night
story,
than me,
Teek.
bro. I don't remember.
No,
I don't
no.
remember much. All I remember, dog, was everybody was just like me.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah,
understand
yeah,
that?
real.
Mean,
Fake.
like, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
what does that
Like,
mean?
Same kind of
man, you know,
clothes.
I've been to Icon where I got to walk through the back door, bro.
Icon.
You know what I'm saying? I've been to Eddie Drummer run back parties.
Yeah.
I've been to all these different clubs, man. I've never been to a party, a club or a party where everybody was just like me. Everybody loved sneakers. It was like all these cats just came out of nowhere, bro.
Yeah.
In a city
Like, where
of
we are
thousands,
Yeah.
there was 300 to 500 people that was just like me. And all
Like-minded.
those, and crazy thing is, probably 85% of those people that was at that party is doing something now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Like
what I'm saying?
that. It was crazy because that party was you know how the like those icon parties and stuff. It'd be no gym shoes. This party was gym shoes only.
Gym
Like
shoes
we
only.
turned people away
Yeah.
that night. But it's crazy, man, that you say that because it's like when we talk about like you know, and I hate being the guy that's like, yo, you know, this came from me, quote unquote, or whatever, or
yeah.
I was doing, you know. But I look at. But I don't want to say that. I can't say that because it's not just me. It's
Embrace
like,
it, bro.
Burn
Wait.
Rubber is what it is. Burn
Bro,
Rubber is his own
embrace
entity.
it.
You know what I'm saying?
Embrace
but,
it, bro.
But you look at everybody. You look at the Lady L's, who's like one of the top tattoo artists in Detroit today. You
and
look
you guys went on. I forget what it was called back in the day, but I remember you getting a tat live.
Oh, what was that? What was
You
that?
remember-
app called?
what the hell was that app called? Before Periscope.
it was basically
Yeah.
Periscope. Ustream.
Ustream. Rose Spit
I was there.
jumped in.
Yeah, you were. Yeah,
You were there?
Monique.
Oh,
Yeah,
you were there?
I was
Yeah.
there.
I've been
Me,
watching on
you,
TV. I'm like, wait a minute.
Dreads, what's his name?
Dread.
Dreads.
Young boy, finally famous.
A-Dub was there. Monique. Yeah, Monique was there.
Bro,
yeah.
I remember like tuning in. You said something on
You
Twitter.
was not there, bro.
I got a tattoo at Lady
got a
L
ta-
crib.
Lady L did it, yeah,
At
like-
Lady L's crib.
They set the
It was
laptop
James
up.
Grady's painting.
James
right?
Grady's
Yep.
painting. Shout out to James Grady. Yes, James
James
Grady.
Grady.
I
Like,
got a James Grady painting in my crib.
yeah,
my
think
goodness.
about that.
Oh my
L
goodness.
Cap is one of the top shoe customizers
Yep.
in the world.
Period.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean?
Oh my god, it's crazy.
It's just like I think of the people that came like from that. and
Yeah.
it's mind blowing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's all creativity, though. It's not, you know what I'm saying? I guess they might know somebody that's like the top accountant in the United States. But for the most part, every person that came from Burn Rubber were young people that had creative goals, and they came into Burn Rubber and something just must have said to them like, man, I can do it, bro.
Yeah.
And they would push it. Like, you know, they had Cappy shoes in the glass, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out
they
to
had
Rick.
every cat for the most part, and I know they don't do it as much now, but it wasn't some great brands back in the day. But if you came to them and you was like, I want to do consignment, they will at least let you do consignment. If it
Yeah,
sold,
it's a
they
little
got
different
paid.
now. Yeah, it's a
If it
little
didn't get
different now.
sold, they didn't pay for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they really looked out for a lot of different clothing brands. They looked out for a lot of different artists.
Sure.
And, you know, if you had an idea, you know, they would sit down and they would honestly tell you if your idea was stupid,
for sure.
or if you had something going on, and, you know, they might help you out. And if
Might
it
help
was
you out.
if it was smart enough, they might
Nikki
invest.
Jean.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, real talk. I met Nikki Jean at Burn Rubber. Shout out to
Nikki Jean, damn, she did come through.
Shout out to Nikki Jean and her
Beautiful.
long hair back in the day because she's short hair Nikki Jean.
It's
now.
a lot of
But I'm
people
okay with short hair Nikki Jean.
that I follow now, and I seriously have to go back to like their first profile picture.
Oh,
When
God.
I see it, I be like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm at the BR.
Yeah.
But man, like my Facebook following, like before 2008, 2009, I wasn't following that many people. From 2009 to like 2010, all the people I followed, I met at Burn Rubber.
Burn Rubber, bro.
Yeah.
You're not getting a nigga with
Oh
petty
man,
pies
first
following
and
you, are you?
foremost, man, we're forgetting about one thing, bro.
What are you forgetting about?
Day after Thanksgiving sale, bro.
Bro.
Oh yeah.
That used to be the bang.
Listen to
Still
me.
lit.
Listen to
hair.
me. Okay.
I was the intern for the day then, bro.
Yeah.
Listen to me. All I gotta say is those sales were ridiculous. Okay, you guys literally created a hoopla where there had to been 200 plus people at least. For
sure.
Okay,
60% off everything for 10 minutes.
It's for 10 minutes. Get the fuck here in 10 minutes. You're gonna kill yourself. 10 minutes. You better get here now.
Yeah.
People were wrapped around the corner
With their mamas.
with their mamas
In the cold. Yeah.
in the cold weather.
and they
It was
mamas
worth it,
mamas.
though.
It was
People
wor-
came up,
Thanksgiving,
man.
bro. Y'all didn't even know what to do with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this space. I mean, y'all had to literally let's let 32 people in, close the doors, let 32 people shop and go.
And I'm
Yeah, yeah.
Did you feel bad for these Birmingham suburb moms out there?
Hell no.
Yeah,
And the crazy thing about it is, like, and it's wild because, like, you know, we were new to business. Like I said, I didn't have anybody that I could say like, yo, Unc, you know, when you had that Fortune 500 business, you know what I'm saying? So it was all us.
I know.
And then, right. So then, like, the thing was, our first 2 years of business, you know, we were kind of like just filling, you know, it was like filling everything out, right?
Right.
So we didn't even notice that right after school, like right after you go back to school, up until basically like right after Halloween is dead. I'm talking about no sales. Like one person might come in and say what up and dip. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because we like, you know, because the summer was so crazy and the spring was so crazy, we would order all this product, these clothes, and it's like sitting on the shelves, man. And then you looking and like y'all see T-shirts and I see like $30.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I look in the back and I see
or at least
thousands of dollars.
At least
You know what I'm
3/4 of that.
saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's what
I
I
ain't gonna
see.
give it to you for 35, but I'll give it to you for 28 right now. Come on, take it.
Yeah,
Go.
Exactly. So the thing was at that time it was like, well, we need and then of course you know Black Friday's coming and then Christmas holidays coming.
Right.
So the thing was we was just trying to get our money back.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because the first 2 years we got caught up in that and we was like, man, it was times I'm like, yo, we might be done. If something don't pop like tomorrow, like this next weekend, we might be done. And that's where it was like, yo, we got to get people here.
Sure.
Like forget going to Best Buy and forget going to the other places.
Sure.
We got to get people here. And it was like, you know, it was always a Jordan that came out. It was always some kind of Black Friday shoe. And, you know, we would conveniently put that in the back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, but it was like, you know, a lot of, you know, a good amount of the product we made our money on.
Sure,
you know what
sure.
I'm saying? Once you break even or make a couple dollars, everything from that is pros.
Right.
And then it got to the point where we were like, yo, we got to get people here, man. We got to do it. It's Black Friday is on the 27th. So you got 27 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And people was there. Like the first couple years, like even this year, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But it's more like now we know what we're doing.
Now you know what you're doing.
I'm
It's
saying?
structured. You can kind of, spread things out. And everybody gets what
I
they
got
gotta
yelled
do.
at for being a doorman.
Yeah.
Like, doorman, like that last medium shirt, I lost it, doorman. like, ladies, stop.
Ladies,
but nah,
stop.
shout out to them too, cause they were the first store in Michigan to have play clothes. I still remember me and Paul.
Play clothes, yeah.
Oh man, I had the Y3s on.
Shout out to Pusha
Play
3.
clothes drop. So that day after Thanksgiving sale, I helped out the whole day, man.
Look at you.
And they Rick and Roll went in the back. They chopped it up. They came to me and they gave me a play clothes scarf. It had the pockets on the inside.
Yeah.
Wore that everywhere. Matter of fact, they New Balance release. I think I tagged you in the picture. I was covering my face with the scarf or whatever. Rick and Roll next to me, man. I used to put my phone in there, keys, whatever, man. I wore that until it said pay cloth.
Yeah.
Like I wore that boy, dog.
Everything.
But yeah, they always literally looked out for people that helped them out, man. Like,
Yeah,
you
word
know
up.
what I'm saying? And
Word up.
anything they could do to make you better or try and just get your name out there, they would do it because, you know, they ain't want you just to rely on them. You know what I'm saying? They wanted you to be able to do whatever it was.
Right.
And just go out there and start making money for yourself. They had that type of endorsement. They still do. You know, to where whatever you doing, they could just put your name on social media right there. And next thing you know, you
call it
looking
a
on your
day.
phone and you like, some white man's calling you right now. Hello?
You do what?
I know how to do that.
Yeah,
Go
exactly.
be somebody.
Yeah.
Hit you and pat you on the back. Go be somebody. Go.
But look, man, we're gonna go ahead and take a commercial break, stretch our legs. We're gonna come back with Ro and talk about how Ro, the business owner, became Mr. Ro Spit himself and his album and everything else that's coming out. So make sure you stay tuned. Blue Tigers Fitted, BlueTigersFitted.com, episode 23, Ro Spit. We'll be right back.
Spit.
Yo, my first time here on Blue Tigers Fitted, I found out that Sherm was a scumbag, right? So we're going to call him Scumbag Sherm. Teek over here, and we also got my cousin B. Make sure you tune in, man. Get it subscribed on your iTunes. Make sure you get it on the SoundCloud and all the other outlets, because you know what? Your life would be better if you was on the Blue Tiger Fitted podcast. You and your mama. Her left foot, pig feet, hog maws, I'm talking salted pork, everything that'll give you the sugars and high blood pressure. Blue Tigers Fitted Podcast is LV. Appreciate y'all.
Tigers Fitted, BlueTigersFitted.com. In the studio, roast spit all day. You got my man Juan Neal, Loose Cannon Lifestyle, our sponsor.
Hello there.
Scumbag Sherm, still in the building.
Scumbag
Sherm hasn't said too much.
That's rough, dog.
It is rough.
You know, I said I was going to, like, back in the day, I was going to have, like, about 5 ghostwriters, and I was going to be called Scumbag Juan. A long time ago, man. You remember Lil Buzz and Chuck and all them? I was going to make them ghostwrite for me and call myself Scumbag Juan. I was just going to be
Scumbag
Sherm
shit
cat, bro.
Is definitely in the studio, man.
I'm going to do it like the Rick Ross thing, basically, dog. You know what I'm saying?
No comment.
No comment. We got Roast Spit in the building, man. If you listen to part 1, obviously, you know, he's telling us his endeavors on, you know, getting his shop, you know what I'm saying? Burn Rubber, the greatest sneaker store ever, boutique in the world.
Love.
Okay, and obviously, you know, it's touched myself, Pauls, Juan, and everybody, you know, in the building, obviously. But I want to talk about Roast Spit. I want to talk about, you know, Octane Elite. I want to talk about
Man, have them spell friction.
Spell
friction,
spell
bro.
DJ Friction.
DJ Friction is DJ,
Of course.
PHRIKSHUN.
Juan, there's
For
no
real.
Bro,
Q.
the
There's no
Q
in there.
is silent. Like he
There's
be
no
playing.
Q in
Like,
there.
There wasn't no Q.
The Q comes after the K, bro.
I thought it was a Q in there.
Yeah,
But
it
Juan,
wasn't
there wasn't no
The Q
Q.
comes after the K.
Went the long way for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ain't mad at it.
You know, it was a time.
You still DJing, right?
I still DJ. It's just roast spit.
It's Roast
You know what
Spit.
I'm saying?
It's Roast Spit.
But I'm getting back into it, man. I like, you know, but the dope thing about it is like the reason I stopped DJing, the reason I hated DJing is like, you know, doing really like club events or parties.
Yeah.
I hated that because, you know, you always get this drunk white girl that's like, can you play number 4 on, you know, whatever.
Right.
By a drunk white girl, he means me when I wanted him to play that Adele the other night.
Or it'd be
gonna
like
put me out there.
like some hood nigga like, dog, what up, hey cuz, you got that number 7 off Gucci Mane last mixtape.
Absolutely right.
And I'm like, bro, but the thing is, everybody in a club is having the time of their life, dog, and then you nigga want to hear this one song that's gonna fuck up everything
And be mad at you because you ain't got
and
it.
be mad at you because and I'm like, and that's why I stopped DJing, really, you know what I mean? And
now were you like DJ like Serato DJ, or were you like digital DJ? Like were you like DJ Khaled and like brought like crates upon crates?
yeah, when I first started, it was
it was
yeah.
crates.
I started DJing before Serato, before any of that,
gotcha.
like computer.
So you look at a guy like Calvin Harris. I think he made like 25 mil last year, something crazy.
Man,
you stopped DJing.
Yeah, no, that's what got me back. That's what's getting me back into it.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? But and then it was that like, you know, now you could bring you bring a computer and you have like thousands and thousands of songs.
Sure.
Like anything you could think of for the most part, you could just like, oh damn, and play that.
Right.
Back then, like, you know, you bring 4 crates, and it's like, man, this is exhausting. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And that was another reason.
And the speakers.
Yeah, and all that.
And the turntable.
And then it's like, you know, being in the crew. It was this is another reason when I DJed for Subterraneous.
Okay.
I was a DJ and it was like 6 rappers or whatever. And I used to go I had to be at the event at 7 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? These niggas drinking, smoking, laughing, cracking jokes and shit.
You don't get none of that.
None of that. And they, you know, they might even help me bring a crate in or something like that.
Right.
And
While
I'm
they're
there from
drinking and
7 to 2, really till 3. You know what I'm saying? They come in with a backpack.
Disassemble stuff.
They come in with a backpack and that's it. And they mind, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, they even help me get that shit in the car, but then I got to drive home and I got to take that shit out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's, you know, now it's just like, you know, it's crazy that you, like, now it's like you get paid more to do way less.
Way less.
You know what I'm saying? I come through with a computer and that's it.
That's it.
A computer and my backpack.
I mean, that's the new hustle, though. You know,
Yeah.
you can't really be too mad at it.
Yeah.
These guys out here doing it way big with just MP3s. And
I wouldn't get mad at it. The only thing I'd be mad at is if it's between you and Erica Badu.
Oh, I heard she's not good at all.
Really?
I heard Erica Badu not
As a
good.
DJ.
But she DJs backwards.
That shit could do.
She DJs backwards.
As the geek of the whole group right here, is there any particular software that you use while DJing, or?
I use Serato.
Okay.
I like Serato just because it's more. So to me, Serato is more like you know, conventional records, and the feel of it is you know.
So do you like? So have you dabbled into other software just to see if you like it or not, or just strictly just out of one?
Strictly Serato. I haven't.
No Fruity Loops.
Yeah, none of that. But that's just me. Like I'm not judging anybody or like I'm not looking at anybody different if they do, because it's all about at the end of the day. Everybody be like talking about like Paris Hilton, that she don't really do nothing,
right?
Whatever. But it's like, man, if the party is live, a DJ
do stuff, but it's mostly in bed.
Yeah,
that's funny. That's really funny. Yeah. But it's about rocking the party, man. If people are having a good time, I don't care how you make them.
Yeah, whoever it is, because I mean, not only do you have to be a DJ, but you kind of have to be an entertainer now.
You do.
Like people have set like a certain level where you can't just be up there with the headphones and you just going like this the whole night. You kind of got to be the hype man. You got to be the DJ. You got to make sure that dude get that chick, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like this is like the age of the hustle. So you have the clothing brand, you got the sneaker store, you're a DJ, you also rap.
Speaking of which, like talk about like
you
projects.
Like that segue though.
Segue.
Go ahead and take that.
Already. Speaking of projects, I mean, obviously, we had a young boy on the show, and he went by the name of Chase Money, and dude was like 18 years old. You know what I'm saying? Rap game. And it was funny, we all laughed at it at first because we asked him like, who was his big influence from getting in the rap game, and he said, 50 Cent. And we were like, oh man, it's hilarious, but like we thought back at it like, we some old motherfuckers. Where we're thinking of like, we're not maybe reaching as far as like Rakim and things like that, but we're reaching as far as Pac and Big, and we were hoping to hear some of that. He said 50, and like we had to come to grips like, whoa, okay, dude's only 18, so 50 is what it was for this guy. Talk about like, we asked him the difference between like, when people label project, EP, album, mixtape, and I know you've had like glass ceiling project. You know what I'm saying? Like, talk about like the label and why that's so important of, and what you create.
People create stigmas and labels and things like that. You know what I mean? So technically an LP is like, it comes from all like vinyl, it comes from records. So LP is long play.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And that's like the entire project of over, I believe it's like on vinyl you can only put like a certain amount of time on each side. Okay. Like it's only I think it's 15 minutes or 14 minutes or something.
Okay.
So you can only put that amount on each side.
Hence only like 4 or 5 tracks.
And that's why LP. A lot of like, it's double. It's like two. So you gotta flip it over. Yeah. Well, not even flip it over. It's like 2. Like if you open a full play vinyl, like a whole album.
Oh yeah.
It'll be 2. It'll be like one with the first half of the album, front and back, and then the other half of the album, front and back. Okay. And the EP is like just basically a shorter. I think EP stands for extended play or something like that, but it's just a shorter version of that, and it's usually an EP is like 6 to 8 songs.
Okay, not no more though.
Not no more. Yeah. Right?
Who's that? Kendrick changed that up with what?
A lot of people what they do, and I mean you can correct me, is instead of calling their stuff mixtapes nowadays, they call them EPs to sound more professional.
More professional, yeah.
But it still ends up being like 16 to 18 tracks.
Yeah. So okay, with me, my first project was I didn't want to do any mixtapes because like technically, it's all real. I mean, well, I don't like, to me mixtape is like I grab a 50 Cent beat or a Jay-Z beat and I rap over it.
Right.
And I never did that. All mine was original music, except even when I did the Renaissance State of Mind, it wasn't like they never put out an instrumental for that. I had somebody remake that. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah. So the reason, but I know, the average person doesn't care that I did that. They just think I rapped over that beat.
Right.
So the reason I called it a project is because, I didn't want to call it a mixtape, but it was still all original material.
Sure.
And then I was like, well, that's actually dope though, because it's not, I'm giving it away for free. So it's not, I can't really call it an album. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I just call it a project. You know what I mean?
Look, and you know what? It's a couple joints on there. Like for me personally, he had a lot of fire on that album. I mean, it was 17 tracks.
I listened to it on Spotify.
The glass. I'm an Apple Music kind of guy myself. Not only buying the music but streaming it for sure. But the I'm So All Alone track. Yeah. And I know you did a video
That's
for
a crazy
it too.
Story behind that.
Crazy story behind that, and I want to hear about that because now the sample for that, like the hook, that I'm so all alone, like was that taken from something,
I
or
have no clue.
no clue? Okay,
You can't give away the source. Come on, Teek.
I'm
No, that's real.
I'm just saying. I'm
come
just
on,
saying
see?
real talk because that. Besides that,
I mean,
like
it came
that-
from something else, but I just don't know.
yeah that
Right.
hook.
Yeah.
And then Rose spitting over that, and then like him at the table, and then the pictures of like the fam, the kids, and everything. I
Yeah.
can relate to that.
Yeah.
I can relate to that. Like I'm So All Alone was a dope track to me, and it hit home. I mean, it was only 2 minutes 48 seconds, but
Yeah.
you know, talk a little bit
I'm gonna
about
tell
it.
you about
Tissue
that.
for Tico.
I'm
I'm
gonna tell you
gonna
about
get
that.
tissue.
Let me tell you how crazy that track is. I went to whatever year that was. I went to South by Southwest, right?
2011 is when it got published.
Okay. I went to South by. So it might have been the year before.
That wasn't a year of the basketball tournament, right?
No, it's
Where you,
basketball
No.
tournament
where you
after
crossed
that.
up Stally?
Man, listen. Because Staley can really hoop.
Leave it.
You
to
know, Staley
Juan
went to
Neal.
Michigan.
Yeah, he went to Michigan and,
Yeah.
and got hurt.
He got hurt.
He got hurt.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
leave it to Juan Neal to bring that up.
Right.
So,
Bro, I have a great memory.
Shout out to
Right.
our sponsor, Loose Cannon Lifestyle. But go ahead.
So I was at South by Southwest, right? And at the time, they were they had a mobile studio, right? So it was a bus on the side of the street, and people, like certain people that was working on that in that studio or whatever it was, they would like dip off into clubs and check out artists. Right?
Okay.
And then if they thought you were dope, you walk off stage. They say, "Man, come over to 3rd Street, and we got this mobile studio, and what we're doing is we're playing you tracks blindly. You don't know who the producer is. It could be anybody from like this guy that just lived next door to them to, you know, whoever, Pete Rock. You know what I'm saying? Like whoever.
Sure,
But
sure.
But they're not telling you. It's just they
Just
basically
beats
put
in the air.
beats in the iTunes and hit scramble or shuffle,
Wow.
and you pick, right?
Kind of like what 50 and like Jay and other people do, like where they just put like a label over the CD,
Yeah.
so they don't know who the producer is, so they don't just judge.
They're not judging.
Yeah.
So I get in there and I'm talking to dude and you know, he playing tracks or whatever. And I'm like, man, I'm like a lot of this stuff is not sweet. It's just, I'm not fucking with it. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to be a part of it because they were putting the mixtape together, and it's
Yeah.
like, you know, you could be on a mixtape next to like Bun B.
Sure,
'cause, like
sure.
all those people were down there.
Where's your man's today?
It's my man,
Oh,
real
man.
good guy,
Oh,
real
man.
good guy.
We're talking about it in a minute.
So then so I'm in there and that beat comes on and I'm like, yo, that is fire. I need it. And he was like, man, it's crazy because when you came in here, you know, because I played him a couple joints, and he was like, I thought about this beat, but whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I finally played it and you like it, right?
Right.
So I sat there and everybody, you had to write on the spot. So luckily it was the end of the night. I wrote it's 2 verses on there, right? 2 verses.
Yep.
So I wrote the first verse and started the hook, and like wrote it right on the spot. And I don't like doing that.
Yeah.
But I can, but I just don't like doing it. I like taking my time, so I did that, and I went back to the hotel and came back first thing in the morning, right? Did it, and then I recorded it on the bus, and he was like, "Yo, you killed that shit, man. That shit was crazy. I'm gonna make this the first single off of that mixtape, first thing that dropped." And then he was like, "I'm not supposed to tell you this, but I'm gonna tell you who produced it." And he was like, man, it's this dude named Apollo Brown. And I'm like, yo, you from Detroit.
Yeah.
That's my man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
really
saying? And
is.
he was like, dog, he was like, oh shit, that's crazy. Like, how did you come in here and the only beat that you liked was a nigga from Detroit?
From Detroit.
You know what I'm saying? And then I hit
Small
Apollo.
world
I hit
kinda
Apollo
feeling.
up like right there, like, dog, I
Sure.
just picked this beat. He's like, yeah, I dropped him a couple beats, but that's dope as fuck. And that's crazy. And it's crazy because we have been talking about working together for years.
Wow.
And it never happened. And that's how it happened.
Right.
And that's like, and then they put that record out, and that was the first time that I had noticed that people all over the world were listening to it, and because I didn't even know Apollo Brown was at the height that he was, that he is. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I didn't even know. I just knew he was from around here, and I know he moved a lot, and he doing his thing. But I didn't know, like, you know, this dude is doing tours in Europe with Pete Rock now and shit like that.
Right.
And I would look on the YouTube thing, and you know, like in America it would be like super green, and then in Europe it'd be like light green, and you know, in Africa it'd be like a little bit of green. You know what I'm saying? In Zimbabwe or something like that.
Yeah.
And that shit was just on that one. It was like all over there.
Sure.
And then I saw videos of people like dancing, and that song was playing. You know what I'm saying? And they was like, this roast spit, you know, and then it's crazy because years later when I went on tour with Slum in Europe last year.
Right.
And when I would do that song, people was rapping lyrics and shit. It almost fucked me up. Like I'm rapping.
I'm just saying, how does that feel? Like
incredible.
How does that feel? You're on the other side of the earth.
Carrying
literally
carrying the Yakistan flag.
Carrying the Yakistan flag. Yeah, how does that feel? Like for people that never grew up around you, never been to the store, never seen who Roast Spit is, but
they rapping the when they hear the song, like
I spin it back.
I was in Barcelona. I'll never forget this.
Wow.
And it was dope because the only soccer jersey I had was a Barcelona soccer jersey. So
I remember that. I remember
that. Yeah, when I booked it, when the Europe, the tour got booked, the first thing I packed was that jersey. I'm like, I'm going to Barcelona. I gotta wear this bitch, right?
Yeah.
So I come out.
It might not end well for you if you don't.
Was it Messi or the Kobe jersey?
No, it was
Messi.
It was a Messi. Yeah.
Well, you know, Kobe does have a Barcelona jersey.
Yeah. So
MJ all day though.
Grow up. Don't worry, Kobe scored more points than him.
Don't worry about it.
I went to
23.
So I opened for Slum Village, right? So my thing was I had like a jacket on, right? Like a little jacket. And I'm like, I'm gonna come out there, and it was dope because we had a screen, right, where like the video was playing and shit. So, and I'm like, the crowd was crazy. Like when I came out, cause somebody went on before me, somebody from there, and I come out and I'm like, man, I'm gonna do the first song with the jacket on, and then at the end of that first song, I'm gonna go and take the jacket off, and go back and do that song.
Yeah.
Listen, dog, I did that shit. They went fucking crazy.
Wow.
And while I'm rapping, I see somebody rapping the lyrics back to me.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, I fucked up. I fucked up the song.
Yeah.
Like,
You fanned out on your own shit.
yeah, like, oh, you know this shit. You know what I'm saying? Bro, the bartenders were standing on top of the bar, going crazy. Like Barcelona was the craziest show over there.
Wow.
Yep. And then the next day, the promoters took us on a tour of FCB Stadium.
Wow.
Shit was crazy.
That was dope.
Wow.
Hey,
Now-
you know what's funny though? My bad. I don't mean to cut
No,
you
you
off.
good, you good.
Is me and Ro, like I remember Ro introduced me to GL, which is still my man to today, GLC.
GLC, yeah.
Back when we signed,
Wait, we
good
talking about
music.
Southside?
Yeah,
Kanye
yeah,
GLC?
Jerome Kemp, which is his manager. That's still my boy.
Yeah,
He got a
yeah,
restaurant
yeah.
out there, Flavor Restaurant.
Really?
Remember our one boy, Jew. Chappelle, Mr. Chappelle, bro. It was so hilarious, bro. We He was in Burn Rubber, and he was like, "Man, this dude right here." I like, man, I could probably get you to meet this dude.
Yeah.
But he didn't say burn rubber. He said barring rubber.
Yeah,
Barring
yeah,
rubber.
yeah.
Hey, but I got that shout out.
He
for
plugged.
him.
He got the plug.
Yeah.
Yeah, Juan got the plug.
Bro, like I was like, man, I could probably get you to meet that dude, man. I always felt like I was a finder, like I could find stuff, man. Me and him had Jew on speed dial, bro.
Yeah.
But he got so tired of Jew calling.
Like, because the thing was, like, we
Shout out to Jew.
sent him a pair of shoes.
Y'all might have sent him a pair of shoes, like
And a shirt or
like
something.
afterwards, or whatever. Yep,
Yeah, we
yep.
sent him a pair of shoes. Like, man, that was love.
Yeah.
And at that point, he was like, he did like another one.
Yeah.
And then this nigga would not stop calling me, dog. And I'm like, bro.
Ever, dog. That just,
Come on, man.
I don't know what made me think of that, dog. Like, I've been had bottles.
Been
Like,
had.
what
That was
the
crazy.
hell,
Now,
dog?
how does it feel to have two internationally known entities? You know what I'm saying? That you control both. Like
Man.
a lot of cats nowhere can't say that.
Yeah. I honestly, man, I really don't think about it, man.
You don't think about it,
like,
just do it.
it's dope though.
Yeah.
But like the dope thing about going to Europe is that I saw that people everywhere I went to 18 spots, like 18. It was like 15 countries or something like that because we did like 3 or 4 shows in Germany, different cities in Germany.
Okay.
But everywhere I went, somebody knew me for something, and that was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like I would go places, and then they would be like, "Yeah, I saw you on YouTube, like a YouTube with Eminem." You know what I'm saying? So they would like, and then they would be like, "Oh, damn, you do rap." I watched the whole season, and, you know what I'm saying? Or they'd be like, you know, you get to talking. And it's Burn Rubber, like, oh, you just, that New Balance y'all did was my favorite shoe of whatever year or something. And then it would, like I said, I would go places and people actually knew the music.
Sure.
So that was dope. You know what I'm saying? It's just, now it's just really about connecting it so everybody knows kind of everything. You know what I'm saying? But I really don't think about it, man. I just like try to just keep building off of it. And like the thing I see is that it's there and I need to get back there or need to, you know, kind of keep funneling shit through that, you know what I mean?
Do you have a preference? You know what I'm saying?
Of what?
Either one, the hip hop or Burn Rubber. Both, either brand.
No preference.
No preference.
No preference.
As long as they both pop.
Yeah, yeah.
What is it about Michigan rappers that make it so big in Europe? Because like it's a lot of Michigan artists that have a main home in Europe.
It's
like the Slum Village say right now, they're doing a tour in Europe.
It's sold out.
Done. Like what is it about Michigan artists other than other artists?
I think it started with Dilla and Slum Village. You know what I mean? I don't want to just give
Dilla.
I don't want to just give all the credit to Dilla, but it started with the slum movement because they were like the first ones kind of going over there. And it's crazy because being over there with them, you kind of you hear these stories. Like they told me a story about Dilla when they first got like the first shows that they kind of really ever did was in Europe. And Dilla was like, he a Detroit nigga. I'm like, man, what the fuck I'm going to Europe for, dog? I'm trying to do a show down in Detroit. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny. I know the exact mentality he coming from.
So they was like, they said that their first trip to Europe, Dilla, like, he tried to like disappear. Like they had to find him. Like,
really?
Where's this nigga at? Oh, he still ain't got his passport. Like, this nigga bullshitting.
Really?
And then somehow it all came together and he got over there. He's like, yo, I never want to go back. You know what I'm saying? I never want to go back home.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Because of love,
Because of love. And it's like it's the same struggle there. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, when I was talking about, you know, we going to Paris. And they was like, and actually Apollo Brown and my man Rensen told me, like, bro, Cool beans. You said you gonna walk the streets and it's gonna feel like you're in Detroit, in Paris. Wow. He said a lot of those places, you know what I'm saying? It's the same feel. And they just like, you know, they love the grime and the grunge and the rawness of the music. And that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? It ain't too many people doing music like hip hop, real hip hop out of Detroit. Like even the street shit is grime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
And niggas is spitting. You know what I mean? You think about it. You got some of the dopest rappers that ever lived. From the Royce the 5'9" to the you know, the rappers, musicians, whatever. You know, you got Dilla, you got Dwelle, you got 3 and
it's
10.
A lineage.
Shout out to 3 too. I saw 3 was at the same football game as me when that Hail Mary happened.
Oh, at the Silverdome?
Yeah,
I mean, not the Silverdome.
The Ford Field.
You know, I chopped it up with him for a minute, saw that Hail Mary. I just looked at 3 looked at me.
Like, that's some bullshit here.
Like, let's go. Like, you know, ain't gonna get too much out of it.
It's just it's a rawness in the lyrics, man, and the you know, not even the lyrics, but the tone of the music.
But you have to figure out where we come from, bro.
It feels
like
real.
We don't get
people
like
know we not bullshit.
Yeah, like you know, if you raised in New York, man, your project is next to a skyscraper. If you raised in Michigan in a hood, your project is next to a project. Which is next to a project. We don't have anything great to look at. When you go downtown, you looking at abandoned buildings. You looking at some dude that's begging for money that you know, but you don't want to say you know him because you went to school with him.
Exactly.
And you're going to feel compelled to give him money. Like, not to even get too deep, man. I just was riding home last night, and my cousin's homeless, and I saw him walking past Myers.
Your cousin is homeless.
Yeah.
That's deep.
You know what I'm saying?
Blue Tigers Fitted show and talk about how homeless he is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, like, our music, like, literally comes from the soul. It don't come from nowhere else, bro, because there's other cities where you can at least look to your right and you can see some type of hope. You can be like, bet.
I see some type. Oh, hope, not hoes. I thought you said hoes. See some type of hoes. Like you can see some type of hoes too. You can definitely see a lot of hoes.
But it's real.
Hoes is real too.
This is where our music
I feel what Juan's saying.
I feel hoes too.
I feel him. You know,
go ahead.
Well, I'm sure Sherm feels some hoes right now.
Sherm definitely feels some hoes. You black card fucking scumbag. You.
Hey, you know how I get down. Come on.
So you guys talk about, you know, Detroit having their own sound and all that stuff, you know, the style and all that stuff. So let's say someone from ATL, LA, New York and whatnot, like, do you feel, because they also feel like they have their own sound and stuff like that. How do you compare their sound to Detroit and how it works over there? Because I feel like the way that you guys described that it works over there because the mentality is the same and how the feel of Detroit is the same over there that it is over here.
Yeah.
And it's not like, you know, how Juan just said the project in New York is next to a skyscraper. Because I feel like it's the same way in LA as well. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
You'll have
And
different.
LA, and, you know, LA is. I don't want to sound too crazy when I say this, but LA is really. It's I don't want to say the word fake, but it's like make believe.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Almost like
It's a
Las
facade.
Vegas. It's a facade.
Palm trees in the hood.
Yeah, it's a facade, and everybody is like, you know, everybody is somebody out there. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they really nobody.
Right.
Not everybody, of course, but whatever. But I just think like the thing about Europe is they are already infatuated with just American culture.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So on top of that, if you look, if you kind of take yourself out of the of being inside of America, you look and all you hear about Detroit is the negative and like the
It's like that here anyway. So
yeah, I'm saying, but I mean,
yeah.
imagine being on the outside looking
Yeah.
in, and like in the '90s, you might have saw like if you're in Europe or you living over there, you're like, wow, I'm looking at America and I see like the LA riots, or I see the bombings and I mean the plane knocking down
King,
shit like that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the consistency is always Detroit is fucked up.
Yeah.
So even when you don't hear about LA for a minute, like being like I'm saying, take yourself out of here, like just looking from the outside looking in. LA like might be fucked up for a minute, and
But
then
it's LA.
It's LA.
But
though.
you also got
Yeah.
Magic Johnson. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
and then New York might be fucked
Michigan
up for a
State,
minute.
Sparty.
You know what I'm saying? But then through the consistent from 90 or the 80s to now is that Detroit has always been like
fucked up,
quote unquote
yeah.
fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. But and then from being inside of the United States, I think the different sounds of music. It's just everybody's reality. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at one of my favorite artists from the West Coast is Dom Kennedy.
Yeah.
Look like one.
Yeah, grow up.
Does look like Juan.
But if you look at Dom
He's got a
Kennedy,
loose cannon lifestyle.
Dom
Scoop
is
tea
my
on.
guy.
he doesn't his music isn't it might not be as grimy as like a Detroit or a Michigan sound or anything like that, but it like when you hear it, when you listen to it, you hear the reality of even if it's not reality, even if it's not like the truth, you hear what you think is the reality of Leimert Park and where he from. You know what I mean? And then you see stuff on TV and you see the videos and you're like,
And he
"Damn,
does kind of
I can
sound like
kinda
us
relate."
a little bit, man. Because for a minute he was getting booked here all the time.
Yeah,
He left.
which brings me to my next point. What is the correlation between Michigan and Cali? Because they seem to work so well together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like a dude from Michigan can go on, just like he said, Magic, and it don't even matter what field you in. Wherever you come from in Michigan, you seem to shine in Cali. You know what I'm saying?
I think I can speak on the music. I think it's just like
Absolutely,
the essence of the hip hop behind the music. If you go back to the the NWA days or just like when the rise of left coast music, you know what I mean? It was still like they was sampling Bootsy Collins and they sampling
yeah, shit we grew up on.
and that's
Dance
what
underwater, not
hip
get
hop
wet.
technically is, you know what I mean? And so I think and then when you look at the underground aspect of it, you got Mad Lib and you got shit. Look at Raphael Sadiq, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these people that were hip hop based, the connection is there, the soulfulness of it, and then I think the real connection started. A lot of this shit started with Dilla, man. Dilla moved out to LA. And Dilla started working with Mad Lib. You know what I'm saying? So it was like,
cool.
spread the germ.
Like,
you know what I mean? It was,
Yeah.
it was
he
kind of
did.
cool. He kind of made it like damn, and we can't just move to LA
and get on.
and get on. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just dope. And but the dope, one thing about Detroit that other than like the no fly zone aspect of things, we welcome.
Shout out to Trick.
We welcome.
No play games, bro.
We welcome people here. You know what I'm saying? Like you could come through and partake.
So that's the only thing too. Like I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get off 2011, but I want to bring up the city from the album of the Glass Project because I was involved in that.
Or word.
I got a phone call at midnight from shout out to A double Adrian Williams.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to Adrian. I got a call at like midnight, and she's like, "Yo, you want to come to the video shoot?" I'm like, "Yo, it's midnight, and where the fuck is this video shoot at?" It's in Hamtramck. Oh, it's in Hamtramck. Oh, okay. Don't need to bring my pistol to Hamtramck because this is a video shoot. I was like, "Who's the video shoot for?" "Oh, it's for Roe." "Oh, I'll be there." And if anybody from the D has been on Hamtramck and East Side, it's all one ways.
all one way.
All one ways. All one way streets. So don't get it fucked up with your address because you'll get turned around so scandalous, and your one way will turn into, yo, I got to go my way. And fortunately enough, let's get the fuck up out of
You're
here.
gonna end up buying an abandoned factory in the
Yeah,
field. Like, what the
man.
fuck?
Fortunately, and it was crazy because like the studio over there or wherever the hell we were at, it was so dope because it looked like from the outside, it just looked like nothing. And you get inside. Shout out to Dante Digital.
Yeah.
Was over there. Ryan Dance was there.
Yeah.
Your man's that's locked up.
Crack. Cocaine.
Was there. Crack was there.
Yeah.
Crack was there. Adrian was there, and it was like some random white dude, and it's always like one
Shout
random
out
white
to
dude.
the random white dude.
It's like I'm the light skinned dude there,
I
but
ain't
yo,
scared of nothing.
ain't
though.
scared of nothing.
Like, y'all want something from the stove? Like,
Yeah,
you should
yeah,
walk.
yeah. I don't think you should walk.
I got it, bro.
I'll be back. It was one random white dude there, and it was cool because like I was told to wear like black slacks and a white polo, and I'm like, okay, bet I gotta go break the Dockers out, iron these boys up, and I gotta get the white polo out. Cool. And we were doing a video shoot for the city, and it was cool, man. For me personally, to get that phone call that late at night, and I'm like, yo, we about to do this shit.
Yeah.
And Rose in there doing his thing, and we're doing different takes.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo,
And y'all came in like full in like actor mode.
full actor mode. So
Yeah.
You an extra in the video?
I was extra in the video, and this was
man.
Fat Tico.
Were you a video hoe?
Pause on all of that. I wasn't a video hoe, okay? I wasn't
They
shaking
called
no.
you late at night.
I wasn't shaking no ass, and there was no tail
Bring your
feathers.
ass in.
There was
Tico.
no tail feathers, okay? Pause on all of that shit,
My
okay?
bad, bro.
I was just supporting my mans.
They called you late at night.
No, listen to what I'm saying,
right.
okay?
Get your ass up.
Get your ass up. All I'm saying, there was no pay. There
You
was
were needed on the studio.
Listen
You
to
were
me.
needed on the set.
You know what I'm saying?
I was just napping.
Of course, I can't tell this to my Blue Tigers family. But either way, I went and supported my man, Ro. And this is like a 2-3 a.m. shoot. And I'm like, yo, I got to get to fucking bed. I got to be up in the morning in 4 hours. Y'all fucking around. I'm cool, but it was a privilege to be there for the shoot. This was Fat Teek back in the day. This is when I lost the pounds.
What video can the public see, Rose?
This was the city. This was the
city?
city video.
The
It's called
city?
The City. Yeah, you can YouTube it, Google it, The City video.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put that out there.
I got about like a 6-second cameo in that bad boy.
That's a long
That's why I
time.
used to
It's
just
a long
get in the
time.
YouTube videos. Maybe. You know what I'm saying?
And I love that joint though because overall, like it was so crazy. Like what's really funny about it, I always figured like Ro was like the Judge Mathis of like the hood, because Ro actually had his face on a billboard in the D. Like what that shit say? We're believing and we're believers.
I'm a believer.
I'm a believer. Remember Judge Mathis? I know the truth. I know that.
I remember
Gangsters
that commercial.
fighting
bro.
crime.
Yeah, that was in
I
the
know
video,
That
too.
was in the video
Yeah.
too, and it was the craziest shit ever. I'm like, yo, Ro has his face on a billboard.
So yeah,
That was
we,
that long
driving
ago,
down-
bro.
we definitely
That was-
have to
That
put
was
that out there.
2011.
Yeah.
That was
Bro, I swear
2011.
that feel like 2014.
That's what I'm saying.
2013
That's what I'm
or
saying. That was like
something,
right
bro.
around the corner,
Fast.
man. And I was privileged to get on the set and to see what I don't think. Did you ever have a party for that? Release party for that? Because I know you were supposed to
I
release.
did, but I didn't.
You did, but you didn't. Because I definitely didn't get invited to. I was like,
Nah.
oh, bet there's gonna be a release party for the video.
It ended
Oh.
up being like one of my boys was promoting, and I just went through it. Like he was like, man, come through. I'll give you some, a couple dollars in a couple bottles. And your boys still, you know what I'm saying? I was like, it was like tonight though.
Oh, that used to be
Yeah.
a writer
Yeah,
anyways,
yeah.
right? When
Yeah,
you
that
had
was
to
for sure
perform.
right.
Had to have Coronas.
And-
It was
and-
a certain type of water, wasn't it?
No,
No, it was a fruit. It was a fruit dish, right? Pause.
I mean, if they had it, well, it was water. It wasn't a specific type of water.
What is on your?
But on
your
a rider,
rider,
you used to
right.
have fruit.
I used to on my rider.
Red M&Ms.
You're a real jerk, bro.
Nah, listen, I'm
Red
sorry I remember
M&Ms.
stuff, dude.
It was I had Corona. I had that of Corona right
Okay.
there that you
All right.
have. That
Blue
is that 24. That's a
Indeed.
24 pack, right?
Yeah,
18.
18 plus 6.
Okay, so I had it like that.
Yeah.
I had water, just not like specific water. It was just water.
Okay.
And then I had chicken,
Right.
and I had a fruit tray, and I had 2 bottles of rosé.
Rose.
Like, what you supposed to do though? Listen, if somebody is honored enough to pay you, and on top of that, they ask you, "Do you have a writer?" It's like even if you don't have one, you just make one up, bro.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
this is what I want.
Right, like my uncle's a crackhead. I need a chicken so he can chase it around, so I can feel like I'm watching Rocky.
But look,
now,
but
bro,
look,
like-
but look. So now, like we fast forward 2015, and Ro, I always appreciate you because you give me the exclusive early.
I do.
All I do is ask.
Yeah.
You know, I don't badger you. You know what I'm saying? I don't pressure you. Like if you got the early release, I love to hear it.
Yeah, for
because I always like to hear the raw and uncut, and then I always like to hear like what changes have been made for like the final product. Me personally, I love that shit because I always like a story behind the shit. So number one, thank you for getting me those exclusives. But like Ivy Life, talk about Ivy Life. When I looked at it, looked like it was for life because it looked like it was the Roman numerals I and V and then life. But then it had like your arm with like an IV.
Because you did like the straight digital, right, with the USB.
Yeah, with the USB. Like so talk about what Ivy. Yeah, it was cold by the way. So talk about what Ivy Life stands for and what it means to you.
So what Ivy Life is, and it's crazy that you brought up crack earlier. But my homeboy Crack, because like I'm from Pontiac. I moved like out of the city technically in like '97. And when I went to Eastern,
Jordan 95 is all I remember.
Yeah, I got a story for those.
Yes,
about
you
those
do,
Pufferettes.
Yes, you do.
And so we moved, right? And then like but I would always dip to the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like all my people was still in the hood, or whatever. So fast forward to like a year, like maybe 2 years ago, I started seeing all these dudes in Pontiac wearing Cleveland Indians and Chicago Blackhawks logo and shit.
Okay.
And I'm like, and then I would see like, IV. And I'm like, dog, what are these niggas talking about? But I didn't want to be that guy. Like I didn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Can't
So I'm like,
yourself.
so eventually when I would see it, I'm like, yo, IV. And then I asked I think my man Demet or somebody, either Demet or Crack, and they was like, nigga, you from IV? What are you talking about? How do you not know what IV is? No, matter of fact, I asked Bashir brother, my boy Bashir brother.
Okay.
I was like, what is this IV these niggas talking about?
Yeah.
And it's like, you from IV? It's Indian Village, and I'm like, duh. You know what I'm saying?
So I knew that. I wanted to make sure you knew that.
Yeah. So and what they was doing was like my boy Crack is he's locked up now, but he's a true hustler in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
So what he was doing,
sewing, selling gear, all that.
So what Crack started doing, he started buying. It's a store that sells like flags.
Okay.
At Great Lakes Crossing Mall.
Actual flags.
Like flags.
Yeah.
Like Detroit Lions flag, and it have like those patches.
Okay.
And what he was doing, my man who is Super Creep. Y'all know Super Creep?
Yeah, I know young boy.
So Super Creep
make the leathers and stuff like that. He got J. John hat.
Yeah,
Yes,
he does
yes,
all that.
yes.
He actually made this hat. He did this.
word.
This was just a
Okay.
regular hat, and he
Word.
did all this.
Creep is cold.
So Crack got with Creep,
Okay.
and he would go. He had a play on the flag. He finessed the flags.
Okay.
Right from the store because he knew somebody worked the store. Like I need them for this price. Out the back, do this, and then he would have Creep cut up the flags and cut the patches off the flags and put them on shirts and jackets and shit. And then he was doing on the west side. He was doing all the Cleveland Indians and Blackhawks because those are Indians.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, that shit is dope as hell. You know what I'm saying? And like now, technically, Indian Village is on the other side of the street. Like it's on the west side. But back when I grew up, all of that was Indian Village. And then different zonings happened over the years, and now it's on this side or whatever. But
Of course they did.
yeah. But my side, the side of
Politics of things.
the side of this main street that I lived on, that they changed the name to mine to Seminole Hills.
Okay.
But that's where all the Indian street names are. Like I grew up on Iroquois. You got Algonquin and Chippewa, Menominee. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow. Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I'm about to now. Another thing every album before this, I didn't care if people knew how I felt on certain
absolutely
things.
right.
I just want you to know I can rap. I can rap with the best of these niggas.
Sure.
Right.
My content, like what I feel about politics or just life in general, I don't care. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm about to give people this. You know what I'm saying? I kind of sat back and studied music, and like the people that are, even right now, the people that are winning is the J. Cole's of the world and the Kendrick Lamar's. You know what I'm saying? You see Future and you hear Future, but if you look at the album sales, Kendrick Lamar is doing this, and Future is doing this.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Stories of where they came from and
Absolutely.
everything.
Yeah, it's just a realness behind
And
it.
honestly,
more artistry,
I don't
right?
listen to Future at all,
I
bro.
love Future. I think
I listen to
Stevie
Future
Wonder
when
of
I
our
work out or
generation.
something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna lie to you.
If you work out,
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like his music is just always hype. So it's like, man, if you in the gym and you going to sleep, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, after
Future's
that.
got to change his
Way
style
after
for
that.
2016. Is all I got to say.
No, Future.
I think
Future
Listen,
does his thing.
listen,
I think he's a musical
Future's a
genius.
genius,
Yeah,
but
Future is a
2016, that fucking sound has got to change.
Well, for me,
or he's not going to progress.
I'm from Joy Road, bro.
Yes, you are.
And
nigga.
you know what I'm saying?
So that shit speaks to you.
Like
Yes, you
when
are.
J. Cole and Kendrick speak about their hood or whatever, man.
I can't
like,
talk
it
about
makes
not
me-
getting pussy enough though.
You know, I can't.
Because
I
J.
can't-
Cole's first shit, I'm trying to tell y'all, everybody that this Forest Hills Drive, and totally getting off subject, internets, that Forest Hills Drive shit, I'm sorry, is just another fucking Friday Night Lights made over, in my opinion, okay? Because this nigga was just still talking about getting pussy, scared of getting the pussy. I don't know how I'm gonna touch the motherfucker. I got some notes passed, everything else, and it was great. It's the same. If you go back to Friday Night Lights, he was talking that same shit.
Maybe they didn't hear it then.
Maybe they didn't hear it. And it's recycled.
Maybe they didn't. Well,
But we're talking about, but we're talking about Rose Spit.
like Juvenile.
Yeah, we're talking about Rose Spit on this album.
Which
We're talking about Rose Spit.
Which makes me wonder the question: does Ro got in this whip? That's not Ro. You know what I mean? What?
Great question.
Yeah. What you ride?
There's some Guilty Simpsons. You still looking guilty?
Guilty Simpsons is the best rapper to ever live.
Best rapper ever.
Guilt is that dude.
Guilty
Yeah.
is that dude. Guilty
Yeah.
Simpson is that dude, and he's on your album.
I met him.
Yeah, he's on. Yeah.
He's on the other project.
Right now, honestly, right now, I don't even listen to music. I listen to sports talk radio.
Oh, okay. You're not like Kanye and shit, and just like listening to fucking opera and shit like that. Like, yo,
Weirdly
there's no
enough, bro.
I
this is
listen
a
to
weird
either
question.
nothing-
Do you ride in silence?
I was about to say I listen to either nothing. Well, my kids in the car, I listen to absolutely nothing.
It's a 313.
They
thing,
hate
bro.
it.
You're not in the car with your kids playing truffle butter.
They hate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I realized that, like, okay, so I'm in the car with my daughters. Okay, I have two, and I have daughters.
Wait a minute. Here's the thing. Are you gonna have a third one to go to heaven?
This world too fucked up, man. No more kids for me, dog. So, no, hell no. I take my chances, bro. No, I gotta live here until I get there. Yes, you know about that, though.
I know.
Did we had that conversation?
We had that conversation before.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later.
So I have two daughters, right?
Yes.
And I'm sitting there, and my youngest daughter is we call her the honey badger because she don't give a
and
shit.
she's definitely the honey
She don't
badger.
give a shit.
She's
about
definitely the honey
Smiles,
badger.
bro.
nothing for nobody. Bro. And she's in the. I can't even remember what the song was, but she's in the back singing this song, and I'm like, yo. Why is urban radio like? Why is black music that bad? Like,
Sure.
like this fucked up.
Yep.
So then I started playing 95.5
Okay.
Mojo in the morning.
Yep.
And then I started paying attention to like popular music,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And the difference is, and the reason I stopped listening to Mojo in the morning with my kids in the car when I'm taking them to school and stuff is because when they get to talking, they on some bullshit, right? But the difference between black music and white music, in a nutshell, is that white popular music, they just want to have fun.
Sure.
They just want to
Which
party.
has mostly to do with drugs.
But the thing is,
Ice-T, stop
Not even
the
to
thing
a
is,
degree. Not
the thing
always.
is, whether they're doing drugs, they're not talking about doing drugs.
Yeah, it's
they're
assumed.
they're just party like we're gonna have fun.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's all they saying. They just want to have fun and they want to have a good time and they, we're gonna party like it, like you know what I'm saying. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And black music, it's bitches twerking, niggas fucking, hoes sucking.
They forget
drink.
about the party.
You know what I'm saying? Drinking, and I'm like, bro,
I'm about to go to the party, but then I got this head.
you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, bro, I can't have my daughters listening to this shit, man.
real.
I can't.
Hey, that's real.
Yeah.
But it's funny, but you can listen. Like so Ivy Life 2015. I'm gonna just say, bro. Like I went to Puerto Rico earlier this year, and I got the early release, and I was playing it for some Puerto Ricans down there.
That's
And
dope.
It was the craziest shit ever. They're like, "Who is this cat?" I'm like, "Yeah, just look for this album pretty soon. It's not out yet. I got the exclusive shit. I'm from the U.S. Holla at your boy." But Champagne and Cumberbuns, right, is one of the joints off of there that I pick out of many. What I like what you did is that, and me and Sherm were there. We were at. You did like a. Hey, what am I trying to think
Listening
of?
party?
You did a listening party, in the studio, and you invited us out, man. I appreciate that because it was for a select few, and you did it over the course of a few days, So there was certain people that came out and did the listening party joint, and it was dope, man, because I got to see you not even just play the track, but explain the track and explain every track by track. It was like a storytelling. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's like a storytelling joint, and you literally broke down every track and how this album was, and it was dope, man, because you had a couple cats in the studio, but I understood it even better, and I appreciated where you came from, with that. But Champagne and Cumberbuns, talk about the sample, the Anita Baker sample used for that. Like, how do you select the samples used for the songs that you're going to use on your album? Like, how do you do that? Like,
I don't select them at all.
At all?
At all. Zero.
Wait a minute, you let other people pick your beats?
No, I pick the beats.
Okay,
Yeah,
but I don't
fuck with the samples.
Not at all.
Okay, right.
That
right.
I mean, because that was crazy. I mean, motherfuckers don't even know what Cumberbuns are,
Yeah,
let alone how to spell them.
Look,
I didn't know how to spell it.
I mean, but you were rapping it, Champagne and Cumberbuns. To me, that was a feel good song. Like, no, we fuck that. We rolling. Like it was. I'm that dude. You're a dud. I don't know.
This ain't a typo.
This ain't no typo.
Yeah.
Like the lyric. I don't think cats got that, dog.
A lot of cats. I was just thinking today, man. I was like, I'm thinking in my car, I'm driving, and I was like, one day people gonna look back and be like, dude was on some shit.
I'm like the young Ivo waving for the ISO.
Yeah.
I'm that dude. You're a dud. This ain't no typo.
Shut your pie hole or get something to shove in it. Yeah.
I was really stuffing dimes.
I remember selling dimes, but really I was a terrible drug dealer.
Stuffing nicks.
I was a terrible drug dealer.
I saw terrible emotion.
Yeah. I was
Prezi on the
drug
busy.
dealer.
I just want to see how time flies. I mean, like,
yeah.
I don't think cats got that track, man. To me, it was a feel good track. Like the Anita Baker sample was nuts to me, first of all, and just hearing it is just like. And I mean, did Denon do that beat?
Denon did that beat.
Denon did that beat.
So, story behind that, Denon's like one of my favorite people, you know what I mean? Like just creatives, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Denon is the type of person that he'll make like 1,000 beats.
Sure.
In like a couple months or something like that. And then, he'll go some time or whatever and do some other shit.
Yep.
Tour the world with Eminem and then come back, right? So he might just have a batch of beats that might be sitting on the computer for like, some years or some shit like that. So this beat, I was riding with Marv. We went to some little some fat shit. We went to
Marv one.
We went to Marv to some restaurant. Some restaurant, and Marv was playing some beats, and that Denon had gave him.
Okay.
And I was like, he played some shit. And, Marv is one of the greatest rappers to ever live.
Oh man.
So I'm listening to the shit and I'm like, that joint came on. I'm like, whoa, that shit is incredible. And I hate knowing when I recognize a sample, I'm like, I just equate that to being like weak as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like I equate it to like you didn't even try. You just like, of course you're gonna pick a Luther Vandross sample because everybody loves Luther Vandross.
But you prefer chopped, so you don't.
Yeah, I would rather, even if it's that. I would like if I don't notice it, it's even better, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But this song is like it's undeniable, right?
Yeah.
So Marv's playing these joints. A couple days later, I go by the studio and I'm talking to Denon. I'm like, yo, I want you to, I want some beats, or whatever.
Sure.
And he was like, well, I got this joint. I had let Marv hear it, and Marv didn't know if he wanted to fuck with it or not because of that reason, because of the what the sample is. And he was like, but honestly, when I made it for you. I was like, damn, honor? That's an honor. You feel me? Right. Like, damn. So he made it for me, and I'm like, all right, let me, and then he played it, and I'm like, oh, I just heard that joint. I thought Marv, because Marv had spit some bars to it. And then after that, when I heard it, I'm like, yo, I got it. Like, this shit, the feel of it is undeniable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when I heard it, actually, I think Marv might have, I don't know if he wrote the hook or gave, or like, because I had a hard time writing that hook.
Really?
Well, I couldn't think of anything because of the sample. Nothing else.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's it. I don't even do nothing. And then
Everybody
I had
look at me. I'm a 101.
Yeah. And then we had like one of those listening sessions after I wrote the verses.
Yeah.
And Marv was like, man, you should call that shit. I think he said you should call that shit Champagne and Cumberbuns.
Wow.
And then at that point I was like, damn. And then it was like, something 101. And I think he like when he was like, when you in that zone, you kind of just start throwing ideas out.
Sure.
So he was like, nigga, when you do that shit, you should be like, son, I'm 101. Son, and then none.
Yeah.
Sin, and then done, and the champagne and Cumberbuns,
Cumberbuns,
Cumberbuns. And I was like, bet. And that's how I wrote the hook. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So he came and gave me the idea and the skeleton for it.
Yeah.
Bro, where do you get your particular flow from, bro? Because you don't rap like no person.
You know
from
what though?
Michigan
You know what
at
though?
all.
He doesn't rap like any person in Michigan at all. But if correct me if I'm wrong, there's a huge Jay-Z influence in there.
Probably because that's my favorite rapper.
Hova. You know,
Yeah,
they say the nigga Ro looks like Nas, and I agree. There's one shot that
Look like
shout out to
Nas.
Joe Venuto. The nigga
Rap
took a
like
picture
Jay.
and he had the damn Sequoia
Yeah, okay.
like filter up super high, and nigga Ro's eyes was like beige and totally looks like Nas.
Yeah.
But,
I've been hearing that
like,
since the
He
5th
definitely
grade.
looks like
I've
Nas.
been hearing that
since, like,
I like
90s.
Dom Kennedy.
Yeah, I mean, but like the other track on there that I loved, and it's shout out to DJ Clark Kent, shout out to Puma, shout out to the Burn Rubber Puma collab. Forbidden was another track on there that I love, and Royce. I mean, I remember you talking about it. It was nasty, like
Almost unfair.
Let me
Almost
ask,
unfair.
Did y'all record that together?
nah.
So
no.
you did your verse. Okay, Royce comes back. You hear his verse.
Just so you know, just so you know.
well, no, hold on.
Okay,
you
go ahead,
hear
Sherm.
his verse.
Yeah.
No,
you didn't hear it.
No.
No.
I did that, and I did the song, right? And I was like, I wrote both verses.
Uh-huh.
It was
Yeah, right.
It wasn't supposed to be anybody else on it, because that's probably the first version you heard.
Yes.
Royce probably wasn't on it.
Yes. He wasn't on there.
I gave it to Denon, and then he came back with that hook, and I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah, he was
murdered
singing. He was singing it.
Yeah.
Murdered
The world
it.
is meant for me.
Yeah, and I was like, that's the
don't
realest
believe-
shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The world was meant for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I was like, now Royce is my friend,
Right.
but not like that though. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah, for sure.
we've become cooler through music and through mutual friends. But like, I hear Royce like, yo, you see that Roy Jones fight last night? He got knocked out, like shit like that. Has
Yeah.
nothing to do with music.
Nothing to do with music.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
so
Bro,
then
tell me that one Royce verse you always say. The Gucci sneakers.
Royce.
All right.
Come on, do I have to say it?
Royce
say
Royce
it.
verse?
He said, I cheat on my wife. Yes, I do.
Oh.
But I'm a better sneaker than a
Gucci
Gucci shoe.
Woo, bitch. Barred it. Yeah, I forgot about that. Damn, you
Bars.
remember everything.
Bars.
So
I'm sorry, bro.
I try not to like, and then like we were recording out of the same studio, out of the
Yeah.
studio. And
Okay.
it's like you can't just like go and pay for studio time here. It's
Right.
like you got to be family. So I'm like, man, I ain't trying to like ask this nigga for nothing, man. But I hear him on it. I hear him
Yeah.
on it, right? So then, but he's on some shit like, nigga, just holla at me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I'm thinking like, man, I ain't got no money to pay this nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got no money to pay him, so I ain't gonna even ask.
Royce is rolling around in the Panamera.
Yeah.
Okay, a
For
matte
sure.
finished Panamera, which is
Tuco.
disgusting.
So I asked my manager, I'm talking to my manager, LaRon, about it. And he was like, oh, Royce, my man, I ask him.
Sure.
So then, he asked him, and he like, dog, I just saw Ro last night. Why he didn't ask me? And I'm like, so then, but kind of knowing who, yeah. So then knowing, like, he might be on in Europe with Eminem tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, man, I go up there, and he like, I send him the beat, and he like, yeah, I got you, dog. Just give me a couple days, right? So then, a couple weeks go by, and I'm like, damn, I don't want to be that guy, man. And call this nigga and ask him, but I got to, because I'm trying to get this shit done. And I'm like, I know what he gonna do to it, right? So then a couple weeks go by, and I'm like, man, this nigga Royce on some bullshit, dog. To myself, I ain't not telling not one person.
Yeah, he just said, I don't know about it.
Royce on some bullshit, man.
You don't want to burn that bridge.
So then,
serial haters are, bro.
I go to the studio, and he had just got back from out of town or something. He's like, oh shit, Ro, what you doing tomorrow?
Yeah.
If you come up here at 3:00 tomorrow, and I'm gonna write that verse. I'm gonna write it, right? So I'm up in the studio, and this nigga writes like old school. Like, I write all my shit on my phone. He has like a yellow pad
And a pen.
and a pen,
Yeah.
right? And he walk around the studio, and it's like, the thing about Royce that's dope is that, everybody knows that Royce was a drinker. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And like he was damn near alcoholic, if not. You know what I'm saying? And he publicly has said that. And but the dope thing about him is that he's sober.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So he's clear minded, everything, and he's cool as hell.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
super cool. Super
so
cool.
he's like we in there, and he just kind of walk around. He walk out there, And then he come out and he always funny as shit. He always say, "Where the hoes at?" I'm like, man, I ain't got no hoes, dog. He's like, shit, I ain't either. I was asking where they at. Right. And then he'll sit there and he'll write, and then the beat playing all loud, and you know, just have a little conversation with somebody on the side.
Yeah.
And then like an hour and 10 minutes go by, and he like, hey, hit record. I'm about to go in there. And then he did that shit.
And one
I was
take.
like, whoa, damn. When that nigga said, he said, I'm the Chronic, I'm the Blueprint, I'm the Arm & Hammer mixed with Ethan, all the Arm & Hammer. I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah. He was floating on that bitch.
Anytime I come through, I'm summertime smooth. Yeah, like your gum. What do you say? Anytime the gums,
Your
it'd be the gums above the bottom of my summertime shoes.
Yeah.
What he saying? He's talking about Betty White.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
Kevin
he said,
Hart Pops.
He said,
me and Ro on the Globe playing hopscotch.
Well,
y'all posted on blocks on Thought Watch.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Now, when you hear him just come, I ain't gonna lie, he
Pause
come
on
through
that.
and shit it on the beat.
Yeah, he went crazy. He lost.
He
He lost.
shit it on the beat. Like, what's your first reaction? Like, damn.
Should I write this second fucking verse?
Nah,
record my
no.
first.
Honestly,
Sure,
man,
right.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. A big
Don't put
secret.
no
I'm
cannabis.
gonna
You
tell
know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you.
Don't put no LL.
I'm gonna tell you a big secret, man. I am so confident in what I do
Absolutely.
that, and this might sound crazy, that I don't care what other people do.
No, that's real.
You know what I'm saying? So the thing was, like, I do what I do so well.
Sure.
Even if it's not better,
Sure.
you know, I do what I feel I do what I do so well that somebody gonna be like, damn, what'd he say? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, when I heard it, I was like, yo, that shit's perfect. Throw that shit in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, so that
Absolutely.
that was it. That's it. That's like that in a nutshell. Because man, like, because nobody raps better than Royce the Five.
Nobody.
Nobody.
But what was
Now,
crazy?
hold
Go
on,
ahead,
hold
go
on,
ahead.
hold on. Speaking of that, because I feel like shit, man, pound for pound, the best rappers are coming from Michigan right now, and you one of them. To be honest
Appreciate
with
it.
you,
Appreciate
you know what I'm saying. Like, how does that look when you look at the rest of these clowns out here? Like, I love Future music too, but lyrically, bro, I'm not gonna ever listen to Future for lyrics.
No.
It's
No,
probably
you
gonna
listen to him
win.
for bars.
Yeah, you listen
I
to it
don't
for
know what
scumbags,
you
bro. You
club,
pull
or
these
you know what I'm
scumbag
saying?
hoes. So these
The
ratchet
after hour or
bitches,
something.
these ratchet bitches love where your ass was at. They love, you know what I'm saying? They love that shit. You know, you got to play it for these hoes you get out here. So
But my
that's
first love is bars and beats.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I'm
but you're
saying?
not playing it for the scallywags that you pull.
No. I don't know about these
He
scallywags.
probably doesn't play music though. He just probably beat on the table like.
Yeah, old school. Take it back.
Come get this dick.
So
Sixth grade.
So who would you consider? Because the term that I like to call like popular hip hop music is called hip hop. What I like to call it, like, who falls into that genre?
Hip hop.
Hip hop. It's like hip hop, but more in the popular style.
I think the best.
Nicki Minaj.
I think the best hip hop rapper is Drake.
Okay.
I think Drake. I think Drake
Nicki
is
Minaj
the
is
dopest.
definitely hip hop.
I think Drake is
Nicki
one.
Minaj is not hip hop.
What? She is on the top of the pop out charts.
Never. Once again, pop.
Every week.
Pop. Not
She
can rap though.
hip hop.
But Nicki
Nicki
got
can
better
rap.
bars than most
Yeah,
dudes.
what's
out.
my
But
man?
you
What's my
said
man
Drake.
name? Safar. What's the dude's name?
No, Nicki Minaj got better bars than most dudes out right
Safar, the dude that she was fucking with before me.
now. Safari doesn't have nothing.
Safar's got the
He
rap.
was writing her shit,
He was
though.
writing her shit. Exactly.
But you say hip hop. Drake is that guy right now.
Absolutely.
I think period. I think hip hop, whatever you want to call it. I
He
think
found it.
Drake. He figured it out.
he figured it out, bro.
Ain't
Both
nobody.
sides, though.
Ain't nobody really fucking with Drake.
Ain't nobody fucking with Drake right now.
I'm gonna tell you a secret.
Okay.
A really big secret.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you a secret. I was sitting at me, Royce, Denon, Marv, a couple other people went out to Red Coat Tavern. one
Oh
night.
boy.
This
Wait,
is long.
is this the Woodward Red Coat or is this
Red
the
Coat, Woodward.
West Bloomfield? Right?
Woodward,
Okay, this is
Woodward.
Woodward one. Okay.
Gotcha. The real red coat where it's
Yeah.
red
So we
lights.
talking. This is a long time. This is before all the Meek Mill Drake shit.
Sure.
Right? And we sitting there, and I've always been a Drake fan as far because to me, like, I don't understand how you can't be a Drake fan because he's so Detroit influenced.
That right by Dilla.
Everything. Dilla,
I'm gonna spend another 10,000 for Dilla. Yeah,
his
exactly.
first album, he was he's a style stealer.
Absolutely.
So his whole first album, he was Elzai.
Yes.
Then he turned to Big Sean.
Yes.
Big Sean.
And then he was
People-
doing an album with Aaliyah, like
Yes.
for Aaliyah.
Yes.
People don't want to give him that Elzai influence.
Oh, he
They do
took
not wanna
he took
give him that.
Elzai's
Yeah,
whole
he
flow.
took- yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
awful.
and then on the go to the Future
the Diamonds joint or whatever.
Tony Montana.
Oh yeah.
That was Dusty. His flow. Listen to the remix.
Fly, right?
Yeah,
That's Dusty. That's Dusty
you're
all
right.
day. He's Detroit
You're right.
based. You know what I'm saying?
I'll give you that.
So we sitting at this dinner table, we eating all this shit, right? And we get to talking about the hardest rappers, or whatever. The niggas, they got it. And niggas like, Royce. Royce is the best rapper on the planet.
Right
Okay.
now, currently, yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
On the entire planet. Okay. I'm saying it. Okay. He's the best rapper on the planet, right? He said, he said if the one person that I would not want to battle is Drake. And niggas was like, nigga, what are you talking about? Do you know who you are? You know what I'm saying? And he was like, no. And he went this was years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He ran down exactly what happened to Meek Mill.
He destroyed that boy.
He said he's gonna make he's dope.
Mm-hmm.
He's dope. He's gonna make a song that's it's gonna be a dope song. But then you're gonna hear it every club you go to. You're gonna hear it on every radio station
and be nominated for a Grammy.
and it's gonna be the biggest song on the fucking planet.
Yeah.
How can you deal with that?
And you won't have a shot.
You don't have a shot. You don't have a chance. Wow. And then the exact same thing he ran down happened to Meek Mill.
And
he was
like,
I don't want
he's a
to
performer. He's a ex actor, so he knows how to put the performance on. When
and
he was
like,
battle,
and
he
he's
said, I don't want
light-skinned.
the problem. Charging up,
And
bro.
he's light skinned.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
And he's
Here's the
light-skinned.
thing.
Of course
It was
we
the
win,
song
bro.
like
El DeBarge.
and I
Return
agree.
to Jerry
I
Curl.
agree with Wale because Wale said that was like the nicest diss record ever. Because he didn't think about
But
it.
it's about to get him a Grammy.
But think about it. He didn't say like, "Yo, I'm gonna
You
go
know
fuck
what I
your
mean?
bitch." Yo, da da da.
He said
He came close to
shit.
when he picked
Check
Nicki
her
Minaj up on
for
the
check her
stage the
for
other
a
night.
wire or an earpiece,
Yes.
please.
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 Yeah.
Please. That bug. It's that bug here. It's 60. It's 60 degrees.
Oh,
It's 60 degrees.
that
my
nigga
grandpa's
say,
sweater?
is that a world tour? Your girl.
Oh, your girl's tour.
That's so disrespectful.
But look, trigger fingers
turn the Twitter fingers.
turn to Twitter fingers. It was the nicest diss ever.
Chicken
It's not like Pac. It's not like Pac coming out saying, first off, fuck your bitch and the click you claim.
Yeah.
Like
with
Pac
a picture,
literally
with a
said
picture of Faith in the magazine.
with a picture of fake with the peace sign up.
But
You claim to be a
but
player.
instead, Drake picks Nicki Minaj up, then gets on a hoverboard,
On a
and
hoverboard.
rides through the crowd.
But and gets a lap dance and some Jordan 3s that I'll never see on the shelf. Okay.
What did he say about I'm gonna probably regret that I took that?
Yeah, he said what did he say? He said I
probably regret that I gave this attention. That is deep as hell.
that I'll get his attention.
That's bold. That's
bold.
That's
But,
bold.
but Meek didn't help himself in the whole situation. You can't get shitted
But
on
isn't
like
there
that.
like a backstory though, where like Meek was waiting for like something to come?
All
from,
I'm saying
Funk
is
Master
AR
Flex?
Ab.
No, I'm
listen
not
to me.
trying to
Listen
hear
to me.
that.
Didn't somebody
I'm
hold
not-
Listen to me. When Drake started
not
off the
trying to
verse,
hear
when
that
Drake started
shit.
the verse, I rode here in the Rafe playing AR Ab.
Yeah.
Niggas didn't even know who that motherfucker was. And quite frankly, I'm gonna be quite honest.
Career.
I'm
He
saying
didn't know.
that
Career
for
nigga's
him.
garbage. AR Ab is garbage.
Hey, he said he was borderline not rapping no more until he heard
Until he
that
heard
shit.
Drake. And AR Ab was
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck, Drake mentioned my name. I'm gonna start rapping again,
Nobody ever
nigga.
talks about the bottle sent to Charlamagne for real in real life though.
But you know what? If you
That
listen
was
to Hot
amazing.
97 or if you listen to 107.5, they don't
He
even play that
hates him. He
Charlamagne
hates-
shit.
he hates
They
Drake.
literally skip over the, you might make me buy bottles of Charlamagne. It goes to the next verse.
Damn.
It goes to the next verse.
That's wild.
Shout out to Hot 107.5. I don't know. DJ, BJ, all them niggas. Delicious, whoever. See you every day. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's cool. But either way, man. Roast Spit. Episode 23.
Boom.
Jumpman.
Jumpman. I know we talked a lot.
Look at that Tico with this Jumpman right here.
Oh, already.
Tico, what's OGs?
Hey, but you know what? You know what's funny? I got.
He trying to talk over it. Look.
I got to shout out.
What's a
I got to
SE
shout out.
special edition?
Listen to me. I got to shout out Roast Spit, and I got to shout out Rick Williams for that.
What's that?
Because Roast Spit and Rick Williams got me that spot in Detroit Free Press. Terry Foster.
Damn. Yeah.
Terry Foster. They literally were like, "Yo, we don't fuck with all that." Holler at homeboy Teek, and Terry Foster's like, "Who is Teek?"
Teek.
They came to the house. They came to the crib. Shot an article. I don't even have those shoes. I think I showed them shits.
Like how they have you break stuff down? Because when we threw our sneaker swap and we was in that magazine, they made it just seem like we were just some whores just selling our souls.
Just selling our
Like we
souls.
were talking about
Beaters,
everything we
horn
loved
shoes.
about sneakers. And
This-
they just
this-
made little
this is an
Drake,
article.
little Jake look like
Yeah,
like
internet's
he has $20,000.
Internet's.
shoes
This
he's
is an
gonna
article.
sell.
This is an article from I don't even know when. I forget the year it was. It was years ago. Rose Smith's checking out the article. Detroit Free Press. Years ago. Rose Spit again. Rose Spit. Rick Williams. Putting your mans on. I didn't even want to be in the paper. I told Terry Foster what my collection was worth, and I said, "Hey, do me a favor. This is off the record." And he's like, "Oh yeah, no problem."
Oh, no,
and
on the record.
And next thing I know, it's on the record.
Huh?
I get a call. I get a call from my aunt in California, and she's like, "Nigga, do you have insurance for $70,000 worth of parachute?" I said, "Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. You can't." I pulled a Bill Cartwright. You can't believe everything what you see in the papers. You know, I pulled a Bill Cartwright with the Jordan Rule shit. Yeah. Either way, Rose Spit in the studio, Blue Tigers Fitted, episode 23. Man, I thank you for being an influential person in the hood, man. Just in overall in the world. Like Juan Neal's here. He had to come back. He came back purposely for this episode.
I had to ask my man some questions.
He had to ask some questions, man. He had to be here for you specifically, man. And just, you know, like I said, you and Rick doing your thing, man. But you more so musically, man. You know, it's huge influence. I look up to you, man. Your inspiration,
appreciate it.
and I appreciate you, man. Like you've been a great friend, role model,
Definitely.
and you know we aspire to, man, to do the things you do and,
Thank you,
and to
man.
get to that level, bro.
And
Like
chasing
seriously,
every dream
and
that
chasing.
you have, bro.
Yeah, for real,
Bro, I was telling this guy like the fight. You know what I'm saying? I did that boxing match a couple weeks ago.
Right.
You
He
know?
cried in the ring when he said his speech.
I was close to it. No bullshit.
No bullshit.
Like it was getting there, and I was like, I had to pull back for real. Because the thing was, man, like, you know, it's a thing where like, man, you have to figure out a way. Life is about, you know, just living, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out there. It's about love for each person, you know, regardless of race, creed, color, whatever, religion, and it's about living life and living out the things that you always thought you could never do, because it's not, you know, you think like, man, I could never do this, but then when you get there and you do it, you're like, man, that wasn't shit. If I could do that, I could definitely do this shit. And the thing was, man, I always wanted to be a boxer. I always wanted to be a boxer, and my mom wouldn't let me box. But my best friend growing up was a boxer, right? So I'm like, yo, you know, one day I like you turn on the TV and you see Floyd coming down to the ring,
killing it.
You know what I'm saying? You see whoever, like,
Yeah.
you know, you see them coming down the ring. You like, man, I could only imagine what that shit feels like.
But Floyd wasn't as oiled up as you were, bro.
Yeah, listen, bro, I don't want to get hit. I don't ever want to get hit. Now, one time I want to fight, but I don't want to get hit.
You don't want to get hit,
Right.
That's the
You know
name
how
of the game.
You know how back in the day you had to make the lotion expand, so you had to put the baby oil in the lotion too. Like they put,
Listen, that was real
Oh,
life.
man, that's
petroleum.
some D-Ray shit, Juan.
That was real
I don't
life.
think I did that.
Listen, everybody separate themselves from their hoodness, right? Bro, I keep my hoodness, bro. Forever. I don't care.
I'm gonna tell y'all a secret.
way back.
I'm gonna tell y'all a
Separate
secret.
their hoodness, bro.
I'm gonna
They
tell y'all a
tryna hide.
secret.
You know what I'm saying? Tico still gets his hair split and greased. Like Tico gets his high
You
top
have to.
fade greased.
Oh,
So let's
it
not.
wouldn't be
let's not
high.
start
It
that.
wouldn't be high.
You know what I'm saying? Let's not start that, bro.
We did this fight. My man Moneybags is over here right now.
Indeed, in the studio.
In the
Shout
studio.
out. Shout out.
And
Cha-ching.
cha-ching. So I'm running around, right? Because I was like the Al Heyman of the situation. You know what I'm saying? I set all the fights up, all that shit. I rented the chairs and they doing all the shit, running around trying to make sure everything
He
cool.
just like Al Heyman's son, by the way.
No, that ain't Al Heyman. That's somebody else. I forgot his name. It's not. I forgot his name. I can't think right now.
Like if you ever see the black dudes,
They're
standing
twins.
behind-
They're twins.
The
They're
twins. The role
twins.
looks like the triplet, right there.
So I'm running around and it's like our fight is next, right? Because we had the last fight of the night.
Right.
So this whole ass nigga right here brings the one and only Tony Harrison. Okay, Tony Harrison is a real fighter. He's a real fighter. He
And you
has
pulled the G move though.
he has championship belts. Many of them. Okay, he has been on all the television, every television show. He's a real Detroit nigga that is doing some shit. Okay?
Sure.
So he comes in with Tony Harrison and he team super bad. Jackets and all this shit, right? I'm like, damn. So then but I'm still like walking around like and niggas like, duh, hey. So I'm like, damn. So I like, okay, the fight before ours is over, right? So I walk to the back and the professional that's at my gym is Willie Fortune.
Okay.
Fortune 500, right? So we be going up there and training together and all that shit. Me and Moneybags, and I come to the back and I'm about to go put my shit on. You know what I'm saying? My shorts and all that shit, right? And this nigga Fortune got a big ass jug of what was it? Vaseline. Okay, Vaseline. The biggest jug of Vaseline I've ever seen, right? And he grabbed this bitch like this, scoop. a whole, and then he start rubbing, you know, kind of putting it all over this nigga face and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, that shit looks sweet, dog. I'm like, damn, Portia, I need that shit, dog. I'm like,
I started to do it in the back. I started to do it in the back so I could just walk out like that Damon Wayans movie. All right. So I started. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And I started to be like, oh, you know what? No, because what I did was, I was going. Everything was supposed to be a surprise. Okay.
Everything.
And so the 2 days before the fight, Tony Harrison drops a video on Facebook.
Right.
I mean, Instagram.
But it was something in this liquor that was playing in the background. Was that the video?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Chris Breeze.
And I'm gonna tell you a secret.
Okay, what you got?
That threw me. I was caught off guard completely. I was a little nervous.
You was like, wow.
I was like, whoa.
You reposted on Facebook. You was like, dog,
This nigga! This whole ass nigga!
But listen, so I'm like, okay, I'm about to scare Ro.
He definitely scared.
I'm gonna scare Ro. Okay, and I'm gonna like, Tony, you know, I'm gonna drop. You drop this video.
Right.
If I drop it, nobody cares.
Right.
Damn,
Right.
You did that
drop
shit.
it.
Like,
Right.
this whole ass nigga said my
You
name.
drop it. Okay.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was like, you know, I'm learning, like, man, how you really do the speed bag.
Sure.
And he was teaching me how to really do the speed bag, and I had my homegirl with me. And I'm hitting the speed bag, and I'm like,
Split it.
I'm like, listen, if it was one take, if I mess
Sure.
up, and at this particular time, I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, you got it.
And I was going.
You
and
got
I was
it.
thinking in my head, like, okay, I'm about to make $50 million on Saturday.
Yeah.
The publicity has to be top notch. And so just so happened, she recorded. And if you listen to the video closely, you can hear her saying, I'm starting now. And I'm doing that. I'm just doing it. Okay, I'm whamming the bag.
Wham in the bag.
Whamming the bag. And just so happened, she stopped. And as soon as she stopped, I'm like,
Fucked everything up.
oh.
And I'm gonna tell you a secret. I'm gonna tell you when I saw that video. I'm gonna tell you what was going on in my head. I'm like, man, this ain't real.
He doesn't box.
Cause last week he couldn't do this.
Sure.
I just saw this nigga 3-4 days ago, and he was like,
Yeah.
between the both of y'all, how much training did both of y'all do?
2 months.
Oh, man.
2 months. I actually probably trained more than him because he ended up.
Getting
He
a
was
job.
laid off at first,
Yeah.
and then he ended up getting a job, and I was still going 3 times a week.
Yeah.
I was going 3
And so
times a week.
I was doing it one time a week, and then I snuck off to another gym.
2 weeks before,
2
2 weeks
weeks
leading to it, to Tony Gym, and that nigga was like, when I saw that video, I was like, damn, this nigga, damn the guy, Tony Harrison. Why you do that? That's what I was thinking.
I don't know, dog. He taught me a few things. A few things work.
Yeah.
I know, like we running short on time, but the one thing I want to say is a lot of people do charity events where they give bears away, or they give toys, or they run, or they play basketball. I hadn't been to a charity boxing event that not only shows some of Ro's closest friends, but also let the kids fight, man.
Yeah, that was
like
deep.
I watched
didn't
this
even know that
one
was
kid. I bet you he is the next Floyd, bro. All this kid do.
really
Of course, you're not on Periscope, so I can't show it.
He was
But
cold.
like my man was just like up and like he was just moving back and forth, and a little white kid was getting frustrated, and he just give him like a couple of them, like bow bow. Then
But they were like 6, 7.
yeah,
They were like
7
young,
years old.
young.
I watched a little kid nosebleed, and I was just looking like somebody granddaddy, like just get a hanky for him and wipe his nose off. But like the charity event was amazing. It was well put together. I wanted to start training at Jab's gym that same day. Ice is cool, man.
Yeah,
all them cats
Big
in there.
Nasty.
Big
Nasty. That's what we call it.
But like like the type of hospitality they showed y'all, it was basically like their gym was your gym.
Yeah.
And the things that y'all cats did, like, you know what I'm saying? The trunks was sweet, man. He hooped in the Roy Jones Jordans. I wish he probably wish he didn't after this past weekend when Roy ate that glove, bro. I never saw a man eat a glove before a pause. You know what I'm saying?
And on the low, those are the shoes that he wore when
And fought Antonio Tarver.
was it the first one or the second one?
Both.
He fought and got his ass whooped. The Antonio Tarver.
But not you.
I didn't. It was a draw.
It was a draw.
It was a draw. Yeah.
Listen.
Hey, hold on real quick before you do that. I have to say this. I gotta say this.
What about the trophy?
No.
Okay.
My man's was there, and one of my young dogs coming up, man, got murdered like literally like 6 days, something like that later. Like literally like maybe even 5 days later. But it's crazy to like see these pictures and see like how full of life he was.
Sure.
And how that shit happened, man. You know, it's like some senseless, random, like crazy ass situation. And actually his funeral was like Tuesday, I believe. But you know, just say rest in peace to my man 2Gs, man. And it's just crazy, man. Like you don't know. Like look, I'll be looking at them pictures, and I'm like, damn, dog, this dude did not know that 6 days from there that he wasn't gonna be here, man. So just live life, man. Live life to the fullest. And that was the reason for doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I always thought like, yo, I want to get in there and see what that shit is like, man. I want to get punched in the face. I want to show my insecurities. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing. Like, I asked a lot of people to be a part of this. A lot of rappers, a lot of entertainers, a lot of promoters, and all this shit.
Sure.
And they're stuck on their image and what they look like, and what. Or if I get caught with a punch, my nose start bleeding. What I'm gonna be? How am I gonna do another song talking about shooting this nigga in the face? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, man, you know, I don't got no abs, man. I ain't got no, my chest is, I got a bird chest, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here, but at the same time, we raised a couple dollars for the, a charity. We had a good time. It was all love, all peace, and just kind of, and it's promoting, getting healthy, man. Dudes, niggas is getting old, man. They ain't bouncing back like they used to.
Yeah. Like about 28?
Yeah, I'm 28 and a half.
What's crazy, it's another guy, he boxes at the gym, and he was, going through explaining that he was having an operation, and the only reason, I'm gonna just cut straight to the end. The only reason that he kind of like basically survived the operation is because his heart was so strong, because he had so much cardio and so much training, so much exercise. You know what I mean? And that's, what I'm saying, that just goes to show, like, make sure you keep your organs healthy, because
like when he came out of it, the doctor was like, "What did you do? Like, why is your heart if your organs are so strong?" And he was like, "Man, I used to box." You know what I'm saying? That's what he told him. He was like, "Man," and then another dude said the same thing. He got in a car crash and had to get something, like some kind of surgeries done. And they was like, the doctor told him, like, man, asked him the same thing, like, what did you do? Why is your organ so strong? He was like, same thing, I used to box. He's like, man, if you didn't do that, you would be dead right now. You know what I'm saying? So.
Sherm, man, closing words. Roll spit. What do you want to say?
Nah, man, I just appreciate you showing up tonight, hanging out. You know what I'm saying? Sipping on the Blue Tigers juice, a.k.a.,
Coronas.
You know what I'm saying? Just saying what up to the fellas.
Absolutely.
And just let you know you're inspiration to all of us, man. We wouldn't, partly, for the reason of doing this was coming out to fucking Ann Arbor, the Blind Pigs. Danny Brown and T3, like, yo, these cats is the same area I'm from. Like, they doing it, we can do it, whatever it may be. So I just appreciate you being an inspiration, sir.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, word, man. Appreciate you coming by Blue Tigers for the studio, getting it in. Engineer B had his words, money bags, you know what I'm saying?
I just want to say, man, I'm glad to call you my brother.
Word.
Yeah,
Man. Loose Cannon Lifestyle. We got Juan Neal in the building, and it's been nothing but love, man. Episode 23 couldn't have went greater. Internets, I know we was long-winded. We didn't get the topics tonight, but that's okay.
I'll come back. We
gotta come back. Roll spit.
Just a message for Moneybags, man. Everybody go to moneybag.com, man. Get you a bag of money.
The plug.
I'm doing Christmas specials.
The plug.
Really, I'm the plug. Really, I'm the plug.
I'm the plug. I'm the plug. And that's how it goes down here at the Blue Tigers Fitted Studios. 50 Cent. And that's how it goes down. Blue Tigers Fitted, episode 23. Fuck with us, internets, and we up out of here. Sherm B, we out.
Go.
Peace.
Moneybags.com.
Right. Did you hear how